All right, everyone's talking about Taylor Swift. What do you guys think about it?
Look, all I gotta say at this point, Speak Now really is the best thing she's made. And honestly, until she goes back to country, I'm not sure she's gonna get all the way there to the legit classic, which I think she's capable.
Mark, I'd actually have to cut you off there and say that Speak Now is easily her best album. I mean, by far, the song, she wrote every song by herself on that record. I really don't see how anyone could be on any other side of the fence than Speak Now.
Well, I don't disagree with that, but my ultimate problem is I don't think she's ever going to go past Speak Now, and I'm kind of sitting on the fence there. Yeah, the new Bon Iver song that she did with them was excellent, but where is she going to go with the national afterwards? Are she actually going to do anything interesting?
Wait, hang on. Do we agree entirely?
Probably, but I'm still a little irked by this because I don't think we can go further. Like,
how dare both of you? Because I agree too, and I did not agree to this agreement.
Yeah, we're supposed to disagree on the Rock Coliseum. I thought this was about four differing opinions.
How am I supposed to hate stan you and send you death threats if we agree?
Just do what
I guess that's what Instagram Live is for.
Also do what all of our commenters do. Just whine and complain how we're not argumentative enough. Sorry, we're not here to entertain all of you. By the way, thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah, I didn't see enough cutthroat moments in Rock Coliseum 7, so could you guys go at it a little bit more in round 8?
Was that actually a thing? Did anybody actually complain that we were not cantankerous enough?
Or in the early days.
Somebody rile up, Mark.
In the early days. Welcome to the Rock Coliseum 8, the Great 8. Hopefully you enjoyed our little discussion about Taylor Swift, the queen of death metal, who's also released her latest album. It is a big surprise. I'm sure I won't hear from that later. Thank you all so much for tuning in live and early. We already have 228 of you in the chat room right now, which is crazy because we've been alive for a minute. Please keep sharing the links. We do appreciate all of you being here. We love doing these. We love doing these with you, too. For those of you who are not aware what Rock Coliseum is, we'll explain the rules in a second. First, we'll do some very quick introductions. John, why don't you go first?
Hey, it's John from ARTV, the man, the myth, the legend. Oh, wait, that's Crash Thompson. Just kidding.
Don't build me up. I'll only let him down.
Identity theft is a serious crime, John.
Oh, wah.
Mark, go for it.
Hi there, folks. I'm Mark, the host of Spectrum Pulse, talk about music, movies, art, and culture. I've honestly gone through this whole spiel enough times. I think the tagline is starting to get overused, and nobody's talking about movies right now during quarantine, so we'll bounce on.
And Crash, since movies are dead and 2020 has killed most of our joy, why don't you go now?
Hey, people, I'm Crash Thompson. I talk about music, games, and other assorted things. And I'm sure, as you all have noticed, there's been a very significant change for me recently. I bought a new hat.
And it's lovely.
I like a lovely hat. It's got nice little flaps, and you know, it's got this little bobble right here on the top. Like, check out how goofy. That's a good
little bobble right there on top. That's
I mean, apart from that, everything else is just normal.
It's going to be perfect for winter, Crash. Honestly, you're set now.
Yeah, it also looks like it's very well made. Like, it's actually all handmade, not just the factory stuff. So good job.
Yeah. Very custom wool. It looks like. I like that.
I don't have the comments pulled up right now, but I'm sure they're absolutely intriguing.
Someone wants to know if it's actually you. It's a good hat. It's a cool hat. Whoa, he's bald.
People are commenting on the hat.
Oh, Crash. That's a good hat. R.I.P. Crash, luscious hair. It doesn't even say. Okay, yeah, people are freaking out. Oh, bald. Wow, bald. He warned us about this. Bald, Crash, bald. Shiny head, bald. Crash is bald. He shaved his head.
Someone's gonna super chat bald.
So someone super chatted bald. Okay, that's
someone's going to.
Crash, you can just join with the rest of the melons.
Oh no! See, now people are gonna think I'm plagiarizing. Oh,
go get a flannel shirt. Do cosplay. It's perfect.
I actually do have a yellow flannel I could put on.
There you go. So for Rock Coliseum, as we always do this is a live stream where we take your suggestions. We will take super chats as well, but this is a chance for you to give suggestions on bands, albums, songs, and even band versus band. You can do different generations. You give us your suggestions on what you want to hear. We give our thumbs up or thumbs down in unison and then debate why we think such. If a band or artist does get the thumbs down, they must die in the Rock Coliseum, unfortunately. For those who are not aware, Super Chats will be read at random, and we will go through as many as we can in the second half. If you're going to make a Super Chat, please do us a favor and keep it as a suggestion, whether that's a band, album, song, or a band versus band, and you make us choose between the two, that's fine. Don't make the Super Chats going something along the lines of, I just want to let you know, you guys, I think you're great, and today I had a good day, I had Taco Bell. That's not the point of the Super Chats this time. Thank
Those
you.
tweets you send us in the later hours.
Yes, exactly.
Well, there went my $5. Darn.
There was my $5. Lame. So,
I wanted to talk about my Taco Bell experience.
So thank you guys again for doing this. Again, Super Chats will be read at random. Keep them coming. I'll keep making messages also. We already have quite a few to do. We already are almost at 300 people live. So I think we can start getting going. I have anything else that any one of these gentlemen would like to say and add? Now's the time while I pull up the chat and get ready for the bracing.
One key thing, again, I always like to stress here, and I think Luke stressed this in the past. If it's somebody that nobody of us knows, like, it does make for great discussion. Like, we want to be able to talk about something where there's some discourse, not like whatever weird act you may have discovered some point on Bandcamp and NPR that might have one person, and that one person was asleep when they put it on.
Yeah.
It's like a good rule of thumb is, would you expect your neighbor to know who this band is? Then why would you expect all four of us collectively to know who this band is? So, rule of thumb, just go ahead, Crash. Go ahead.
All I'm going to say is, like, you may love the hell out of Devin and the Devin Tones, but if none of us have heard of Devin and the Devin Tones, then Devin is... That's your Super Chat wasted on poor Devin. And Devin's probably not going to pay you back, so... I'm just saying, don't do it for Devin.
Devin's experimental ambient music is actually really boundary pushing.
Oh, you're such a pretentious tool.
Stop. I was going to say stop being a hipster for non-name bands, but you beat me with a better joke, so good job.
Yeah.
I forgot to introduce myself. Someone else said, I'm Luke, host of the channel you're watching right now. All my information is already in the video description below. Thank you if you're checking this out from one of these other guys' shared links. Please subscribe to all of our... Yeah, I know. Please subscribe to all of the channels. You can find the links in the description below. It helps us out a ton. It does matter. We thank you again for being here. Share the links. Tell people on social media. Tell people on Discord, whatever. We love doing this. The more the merrier. And I would like to say, keep your Super Chats coming. But if you have any suggestions, this first hour is for anyone. Type in your suggestions and go for it. And I turn to the right and see what the mess is. I'll give it a second. And here we go. So what's it stopping at right now? And
I already see some good ones in here.
Stop. Okay. I don't think we've done this one we might have done this on the document, but we've never done this one live, like on the actual video. The main.
Oh.
I know we've done it in the document. I'm confident we've never done this on video, though.
Yeah, I'm confident too.
Yep.
Excited.
Does everyone have an opinion?
I might have to sit this one out.
Okay, we'll skip it then. We'll save it for later. This is for the second one if you don't have enough opinion. Okay. John is a big thumbs up, though. So, and we'll go through the next one and stop. Okay. That actually is interesting. This is also one I know we have not done live on video, but we've probably done on the actual older document. Rob Zombie.
Yep.
Everyone has an opinion, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I could do it.
Rob Zombie on 3. 1, 2, 3. Unanimous. Yeah.
Kind of on the same page as you, Crash.
I'm not like the biggest in the world, but I'm in it.
I'll go very briefly. I've seen Rob Zombie live 9 times working festivals and shows. The biggest indicator of why Rob Zombie, I'm a fan, is his live performance. I can say I have not loved everything of his most recent output, and it's becoming pretty sparse because he's focused on the film career. There's still stuff from White Zombie days and his solo days in the 90s and early 2000s that I really enjoy. So that's all I can really say, and he's fun to photograph, as some of you can see. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mark, why don't you go next? Because Crash and John were a little bit sure why not. I want to hear Mark's opinion first on this one.
Honestly, I'm kind of in the same boat. It's a sure why not, because I wouldn't say that Rob Zombie has got a completely robust discography, or even that you can take him all that seriously. I find a lot of his projects to be really uneven. Even in the White Zombie camp, like, I'm not the biggest fan, to be honest. That being said, it will come on in a goth club or a metal club. Everyone likes it. It's easy to like music, and he's great live, so... Again, I wish his movies were as good as his music. But...
my comment section is going to be a war zone now. Crap.
Well, no, the thing
Good,
is,
build up your engagement.
that is not an unpopular opinion. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be with you on that one.
Crash, why
Did
don't you go
you all
next?
see Halloween too?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
Crash, why don't you go next?
My comments don't really differ too much from you guys. I agree that his stuff with White Zombie is probably my favorite of his particular era. Just, oh god, like so much good stuff from that project. But I know his solo stuff is also good too. Dragula is a bop. I don't care who you are. You can put that song on almost anywhere, and you can dig through the ditches and burn through the witches with the best of them. I know he's a good workaday. He may not be necessarily everyone's favorite artist, but man, he's reliable. He puts on a good live show, and you know, what more could you ask for? The dude always delivers, even if it's not necessarily your thing. Hey, he's giving the people who want him exactly what they want. So
That's true.
And John, why don't you wrap it up?
I'm just going to co-sign that. I genuinely don't think I have anything to add on top of that because I'm not like a massive fan, but I definitely don't dislike. So
Fair enough. Except his movie career, which I think we have some naysayers. And I've heard the arguments before.
It's
so.
uneven. I'll be generous and say it's uneven.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't hate all of his movies.
I don't hate them all. Okay, that's a good quote
Let's have
for
some
Rotten
shit,
Tomatoes.
man.
I didn't hate this. So
That's what they put on the back of the DVD cover. I didn't hate everything.
I will say one thing. The worst thing he ever did was that one song he did for the Daredevil soundtrack back in the day, "Man Without Fear." If any of you want a good laugh,
I don't know
look
that
that
one.
song up because it's
Haven't heard it.
seriously bad.
is it as bad as that Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck?
It's probably worse than the movie, if you
Okay,
can
then.
believe that. Oh, but
Alrighty.
it's bad in like a funny way. Oh my god, you just I can't. I don't want to spoil it for any of you. Just look it up. It's called "The Man Without Fear." It's from the Daredevil. It's from the Ben Affleck Daredevil soundtrack, and just you're
Awesome.
welcome. That's all I'll say after that. You're welcome.
See, that was a good suggestion, though. That was a good one that we never had a real discourse talk on. See, that was nice when you're not throwing trash at us. Thank you, chat room. Thank you.
You know what's coming.
There you go.
So
Every time, Luke.
Knock on
No,
wood. Because now,
not every time. Okay, and stop. That's interesting. That's a good versus. So this is a versus band. This is top timely too. Korn versus Marilyn Manson. And you have to pick one.
Okay.
You can't kill them both if you don't like both of them. I know some of your opinions. I'm curious though about the others. I'll just go through Korn because that was the first one I saw. Korn.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
believe it or not, really? Okay.
I would have figured Crash would have been hard. No, okay, so it's a split, and then Marilyn Manson. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Huh.
Since
I did not see this coming.
We'll go in reverse of the last time. John, why don't you go first? Why does Marilyn Manson get the thumbs up?
For is like over the top his image can seem at times. There's actually like behind all of that. I would say to an extent with Korn too. They both style themselves a very certain way to kind of scare the parents back in like the 90s and the 2000s. But beyond that, for me, I mean, I definitely love some Korn songs, but there's just more albums, I think, with Marilyn Manson that I actually come back to from the early days to even some of the stuff off of albums like Pale Emperor that weren't great, but there's always at least like a few songs that I find myself coming back to.
Okay. Fair enough. And Mark, why don't you round out the Marilyn Manson pro talk?
Make this clear, Marilyn Manson's kind of a scumbag, and he's been like for a while, and I don't like being in the situation where I have to say he's better than Korn one way or the other. But I can also say that there are Marilyn Manson albums that are kind of great. Like Antichrist Superstar is a great album, like for what it is and for how much and the people around him that supported that at least led to quality. Again, I think a lot of Marilyn Manson worked better as a figurehead than he has ever as the sole driver of his sound, because when he did, it went bad. Yeah. But in comparison, I can't look to any Korn album as being anything close to good. And Korn has embarrassed themselves in more ways that Marilyn Manson hasn't, and that is saying something.
I don't know about hardly agree. I don't know if I hard agree with that one, but I see the viewpoint though. So
the dubstep Korn days.
Marilyn Manson's done some weird stuff in the late 2000s also. And
I kind of liked a few of those songs.
There was one that was good. There was one that was really good. One of those songs out of 12. But still, I can't really hard argue against it either. So Crash, why don't you go, because you were kind of indifferent on Korn.
Yeah, I know. I am the resident. I am the resident Korn hater here. So I'm sure this is a little mind blowing for those of you.
I actually am a little surprised. So.
Yeah, but okay, here's the thing. Korn, as much as I don't stan them, as much as I am just not a huge fan, I got to admit there are at least a handful of songs from them that I can listen to at least when I'm in the right mood, like, Got the Life, some of their stuff from, like, Follow the Leader, some of their Korn's best stuff, even though it's really just not my thing, I can at least see where people are coming from when they talk about liking it. With Manson, I think it's just people like the image. People just like the motif he sets up.
Presence,
people like the environment that Manson sort of builds. Because, man, the music just... I don't... At least Korn can provoke a reaction out of me. Like, it can provoke a very negative or even occasionally a very positive reaction out of me. Marilyn Manson just does nothing for me at all.
And my thing is, I'm not a diehard of either, to be honest. My biggest thing, though, for Korn, kind of touching on what Crash said, Korn feels much more like a singles band, but at the same time, they have strong singles. With Marilyn Manson, Pale Emperor is the one album I can truly defend as something not only just mind-blowing, but very unique in a world of music that tried to duplicate that and could not even touch it. That's really the only Marilyn Manson album I can remember vividly. There was so much after that just was meandering and fading into the ether and nothing. That's just me, though. Korn is... I will also say, though, Korn had the unique discography where they went from solid, unbelievable dumpster fire, solid again. And that middle section was like a decade, too. So it's not... You can't really say there's nothing there, but... I would still say Korn over Marilyn Manson just because of that.
Say what you want to about Twisted Transistor. At least you remember it. For better or worse, you do remember that song.
I remember
my ironically love that song.
I'm Narcissistic Cannibal. That's my one song from that album. But also,
Twisted Transistor was my first Korn song.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So I love that song.
That's a way to break into it. Sheesh. I was young with Korn, though, so that's different. Also, Crash, that is a terrible analogy to think of. I remember my first car crash. That doesn't mean I actually want to remember that fondly and associate with it.
See, the hilarious thing that I always remember seeing is, I don't know if any of you guys saw this, there's an old photograph of when Marilyn Manson met Nick Cave, and Nick Cave is drunk off his ass. He's probably a decade earlier. He's wearing a big Hawaiian shirt, and he is smiling as hell. Great. He looks jovial as great, and Marilyn Manson's trying to look hard, and Nick Cave is like, I'm better at all of this being spooky than you are. Like,
As age has gone on, Marilyn Manson, I say his presence and his has weakened his age has weakened his presence. I think is a better way to say.
I would agree. So, well, that's what happens when you are a person who is primarily on shock tactics.
That's true. Exactly. Yeah, and he's not the only one. So. Anyway, so both bands live. Both bands have to be smacked around a little, as is per the rule. How did Korn and Marilyn Manson get smacked around? That would even have any effect on them, because I don't know if they would feel it.
A bunch of actual goths get to just take them to task.
Fans of The Cure come in and just like freaking the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Robert Smith himself.
Here's what I think would work for Korn. Make them work with Skrillex again, but Skrillex nowadays.
Oh, is he doing? Wait, is he working? Or is he doing something?
Yeah. Korn covering "Where Are You Now?"
Good suggestion, though. I did like that versus. That was a good comparable one. That one worked. See, what did I tell you? 2 of them in a row. That happens. It does happen. All right, chat room, don't let me down. 3rd time's a charm. Get your suggestions in and stop. Oh. I take a little bit of blame for this, I think, because I mentioned it in a recent video.
Oh, no.
I know we have not done this on video. There's no way, because I would have remembered it. Hollywood Undead.
Oh, God.
Hey,
Oh,
no one
2008
leave.
me
No
just
one
came
leave.
back.
I saw 2 of you look away, and Mark has a headache. Hollywood Undead. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
As if you had to even ask.
Sorry, 2008 me. I went through a massive phase, and I'm not even kidding.
That was their peak and their first year. So
08 to 11 was my time with them.
Crash, you gave the double thumbs down, so why don't you go first?
I've actually mentioned this in other videos, but man, Hollywood Undead was a band so bad. They were the band that snapped me out of my nu metal phase. I was the biggest nu metal fan in the world. I knew every band. I knew some bands you would never even have heard of. I was Mr. Nu Metal Kid. And then I heard Hollywood Undead come out of the scene with their stupid masks and their stupid lyrics and their stupid Slipknot wannabe bullshit. And I was like, okay, time to grow up. I'm going through an indie phase. I'm buying a scarf. I'm shopping at record stores.
That is a transition.
I am freebasing Block Party until I purge this evil from my system. See ya!
Because of Hollywood Undead, too. Oh.
Jesus.
Hollywood Undead
Okay.
changed me. That's how bad they are.
I'll give my piece. By the way, I've met some of the guys. They're fine. Nothing I can't say
Okay,
as them
that's
personally.
good to hear at least.
Yes,
Bravo.
exactly. They are a band 100% dependent on their stage presence. Music, writing, creativity. It's not even in the backseat. It's in the trunk. You know, it's not. It's never about that. I've heard 2 Hollywood Undead albums and an EP they released in 2018 or 2019 that did nothing. They have no impact. It really is the equivalent of 6 frat guys proving they could be rock stars, and the masks are to add a personality. And the presence on stage is what people want. I've yet to meet that one person, though, and I'm sure they're out there, that says Hollywood Undead's music changed my life for the better.
Oh, I know a lot of those people, and they were in the
Really?
comments.
Oh, do
The last time I reviewed Hollywood Undead and gave them, I thought, a pretty generous 2.5 out of 5. Oh, people, let me have it.
People weren't even giving me a hard time because I put them on good songs by bad bands list. That's where I mentioned them.
Oh.
So okay.
Their fans are.
No, I know they have. Oh, they have a diehard fan base. I do know that. John, why don't you go next on Hollywood Undead? Why do they get the thumbs down?
As a middle finger to my former self. I was obsessed with Swan songs. Like, that came out like around like my senior year of high school, and I got so many people in my school into that, and I still know all the words to like all those songs and American Tragedy too. And that probably is a tragedy in and of itself. But by the time their like 2013 or maybe it was 2015 album came around, I started to be like, I'm kind of holding on to nostalgia here, and this doesn't actually like really sound like anything fresh, first of all, and the fact that their shock value has completely worn off at this point. There's really just nothing there, and like you said, Luke, with the past few,
they really were not that shocking.
It was to a Christian school kid.
Okay, that's true. A mask will do
You're
that.
saying the F word every other word, and you're like, holy shit, these guys know what they're doing.
These guys might be going to heck someday. Heck, I tell you. Mark,
He's talking to the kid. He used to feel bad for accidentally putting his middle finger up.
He has to hide it.
I used to be worried.
Mark, why don't you round it off for Hollywood Undead?
I missed Hollywood Undead's come up entirely because I've said this a number of times. I never had an angry white boy phase. And the metal I was into was like symphonic and power metal, like in my teenage years. So I kind of jumped past the Hollywood Undead phase. I only first started listening to them when I covered them in 2017.
Okay.
And I'm like, are you serious? Like,
You jumped. The point
Yeah.
you jumped on with was rough, so that's part of it too.
But here's my point. I listen to this. I'm like, is anyone find this shocking? Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, am I supposed to be intimidated by this? I'm listening to black metal. I'm listening to death metal. I've listened to hip hop that is heavier than this. Death Grips would run these guys out of the building.
But they're undead.
Did you see the mask, Mark? Did you see the mask?
Again, Mark, it's the Christian school mindset. This is made to shock the Christian
school. Like,
I guess.
Yeah. Like, I went to a Christian school. And the fact is, I think Nightwish is more intimidating than Hollywood Undead is.
Oh, some of their music, absolutely. They try to make an atmosphere out of haunting stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I can't take them seriously, and when you take out the shock factor, the production's not good.
No, the music is not even
embarrassing.
secondary. It's way back there. So
and they are trying to imitate elements of Linkin Park that Linkin Park moved past. So
early,
Exactly.
they moved way past that early. Okay,
Yeah.
that was I see. That's why I knew we didn't talk about them before, because I would have remembered all of this. How does Hollywood Undead die in the Coliseum?
Irrelevance.
Well,
I think the four of us just killed him.
Yeah.
Christian school gigs for the rest of their career.
Yes.
Yeah!
There you go. Play at the
And
school
then
assembly.
They get like the audio cut off of them on every song, like every first song. They have to go to the next school, just with one song performances. Yeah.
They have to perform with soap in their mouth just
They have to
because.
perform like clean versions of their songs for Christian school crowds. Like every other word, they're just like pausing.
Instead of the F-bomb, they have to say friend or faith to make it all
Friend or
churchy.
faith.
Yes.
I remember when that was a thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The faith replacement. Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know what faith you means, but
Oh, that's a way to bless
Actually-
them. Faith your heart. Oh, faith you. Faith you. Yeah.
Coming up where I was around, the supplemental F was forgive. Oh, forgive you.
Forgive works.
I
too.
hope God forgives you.
we had Frick.
Yeah, Frick's the standard also. That was big out west when I was in college and stuff.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But I think we're throwing up in the video is say fuck them.
There you go.
Hey, calm the frick down with that language, Mark. Christian server over here.
Hey, calm the friendship down, okay? We need to tone it down a notch.
Mark, I forgive you. Motherfucker. Okay, I got it. There.
Mother Father.
See, this was getting a little Ned Flanders-y for my taste. I just had to drop the fuck on you.
Oh, Ned
Same,
Flanders would
good.
totally
Yep.
be in Hollywood Undead. What are you talking about? Moving on.
My ghost shirt is offended.
I'm gonna need a fan cam for him with just all Hollywood Undead music in the background for Ned Flanders. Ned Flanders fan
The
cam.
kids and
Lots of Twitter, please.
the little kids, Rod and Todd are dancing too. Okay.
You guys haven't seen the DJ Khaled fan cam.
Yes, I have,
I
Mark.
have not. No. Okay.
Yes, I have, and it's amazing.
Okay. Huh. We have homework apparently, Crash. So okay.
Apparently, yeah.
Okay. That was a
I feel like I
good
need to see
suggestion.
it.
That is a good suggestion. To be fair, that is a good one. Okay. And stop. Oh, I know we've done this on the document. I don't think we've done this live. Or if we have, it's been very brief. If you want to skip over this one, it's okay, but I know we could have conversation. Dave
We
Matthews.
can do it quick.
Dave Matthews
Oh.
Band.
Oh, I could do this.
I'm sure we all have opinions. So,
Uh-huh.
okay. Everyone?
Yep.
Dave Matthews Band. 1, 2, 3. Huh.
Oh,
Interesting.
Okay. Interesting split here.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
this
right.
is not what I was expecting.
I was not
Yeah,
either.
me either.
Okay. So,
Okay.
who would like to go first? Anyone? I'll go first. You know what?
I can totally.
Crash. Yeah,
Crash, you want to
Okay,
go
yeah.
first? Go for it. For the thumbs up.
Okay. Again, God, John, you're gonna love this, but growing up in the Midwest in a very white neighborhood, yeah, you know where I'm going with this. one.
Why? That's
In a
why
very
I gave
white
it the thumbs
neighborhood,
down. What are you talking about?
In a Christian school, no less. Like Dave Matthews Band was the shit to all of my friends growing up. It was
Yes.
just the hottest shit. Every single one of my friends was a Dave Matthews stan. I've seen Dave Matthews live in concert like 5 times, and I don't even like him that much, But man, my friends always wanted to go to Dave, and Dave always puts on 2-night shows. He always makes his concerts huge live events.
Yeah, I get that.
My God, say what you want to about the music or the presentation. I get it if Dave Matthews just is not your thing. But man, again, it's like with Rob Zombie. To the people who want what he's given them, he gives them 150% of what they want. And man, and you know what? He's got some genuine. That band is insanely talented too. Those motherfuckers can play the fucking strings off their instruments. Okay. And yeah, that's a good. Even if you hate Dave Matthews, catch him live. It might change your mind. It honestly might.
Mark, why don't you go for the thumbs up?
I'm actually entirely with Crash here. The comparison I've seen made with Dave Matthews is the Grateful Dead and Fish. And that they've got the diehard fan base that will follow them around forever, and the primary reason you go to become a fan of Dave is the live show. Yes. I will never say that Dave Matthews Band wrote good songs. Not really. It was an era
they have a few, but okay.
It was outside of my time too. But I'll be honest, like the stuff I've heard is not terrible. He tends to be a little bit rootsier on his newer albums, which I like. And you know what? If he is legit impressive, like behind the strings, he can play his ass off, which I will give them a lot of credit for.
Okay. John, for the thumbs down, why does Dave Matthews Band get the thumbs down?
I just feel like I'm staring at a white wall, when I'm sitting there listening to some Dave Matthews. If somebody puts on the radio in a car that I'm not driving, and so therefore I can't reach for the radio, and I'm forced to sit through another one of their hit songs for the 1,000,000th time. Sometimes you just think about asking a friend to pull the car over right there on the spot because you can't take it. And I have seen Dave live. I admit that the live I think it was at Bonnaroo, and yeah, I mean the live setting, absolutely. I get the talent, I get that it's there, but I can't stand his voice.
That is 100% fair. Dude has a weird voice. He really does.
Okay. There's a lot of great points that I can't really argue. I'm aware of the live presence. You go for the jam band feeling for those concerts, and you get your money's worth time and time again. That is never, ever duplicated on any of their albums. And I'm talking about even their big, monumental, platinum-selling albums in the late 90s and early 2000s, mostly the late 90s, where every single high school student, college student, and businessman adult drooled over this man. The music is just... that music does not reflect what he does live, and I think there's a disassociation. It's the most tepid, lukewarm, dishwater music on like the backtracks of those albums, like not the singles, not Crash Into Me, hey Crash, and like all the other stuff. The album after that, I'm drawing a blank. I Did It, and the space between those two songs were on that album after that one. That was the biggest. What am I listening to? How am I just out of my mind while I'm not figuring this out? And also, I'll say this just to wrap up. Along with John's I'm Facing a White Wall, Dave Matthews Band feels like the closest to yacht rock without being yacht rock.
That is 100% accurate. Okay. I'll just cop to it. It totally is. Okay. Like,
and I don't hate Dave Matthews Band. I don't hate it. I would never begrudge anyone for hating it, but it's just like, I don't. No.
This is rootsy rock if you have a 401k with $500,000 in it.
Yes. You look out of the crowd and you see a bunch of
the rich Nashville crowd. Yes, that I get. Okay.
It is. I'll cop to it. And Luke, just to kind of build off of your other point really quickly, even Dave Matthews fans will just admit that, just don't listen to the studio albums. Listen to the stuff that comes out live. The only reason they even put out studio albums is so they have something to put on their live albums, basically.
And even then, I'd say basically a lot of the arrangements they have on their studio albums, they're going to get massively warped live anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. So I at least see a
believe me, you are so not the only one who feels that way.
Fair enough.
Not even the diehards would agree with you on this.
I feel
Chat,
weird.
Back me up on.
We have to smack around Dave Matthews Band. Even I feel weird about that, though. How would we smack around Dave Matthews Band in the Coliseum? Why? That just seems weird.
We forced him to work with a producer.
Skrillex.
No, we do not want a dubstep Dave Matthews Band. Shut your mouth, John. That is a bad thing to put out there in 2020.
Skrillex and Dave Matthews. No, Marshmello. It's like Rescue Me with a Day to Remember, except Dave Matthews.
Okay, you want a wall of beige? That's how you get like a continent of beige, John. Are you sure you want what you're asking for here?
That's
Crash Into Me Marshmallow remix.
That's an ocean of dishwater, just tepid dishwater. That's it. Wow, that took a weird turn. Thank you, though. That was a good suggestion. Keep them coming. We still have about 20 minutes or so of just the first round. This is going great. Thank you, guys. Keep sharing the link. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. That helps a ton to get this video pushed in the algorithm. If you hit the like button right now, that way it keeps pushing this to other people who aren't subscribed. Thank you again for being here right now. What's our number at right now?
We got 425 people right now, which is crazy.
That's huge. And you guys have stuck with, because I know it's been over 400 for a while. Thank you guys again. Keep the super chats coming. We'll go through them at random in the second half. And for the next one, stop. I know we had to have done this on the document on the last one. I don't know if we've done this on the video. If we have, we can skip past it. Have we done Remo Drive on discussion?
I don't think we have.
I don't think we have, but I've got things to say.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, me
too.
Me too.
I think we talked about this off camera, by the way.
Yeah,
I think we've had discussions on our own personal, so you get to see what we talk about in the chat room. It's worth it now. It's worth it now, especially in 2020. Remo
Eric,
Drive.
if you're watching, you're a very nice guy.
Same.
Remo Drive. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, this hurts.
Yeah,
It
this is
does
not this is not like anything angry or ill will towards the artist. Not at all. I'll start because I went last a couple times. For a band to start out like such a house on fire and have such a unique, fresh sound in that first album, where did it go? What happened? Did
Excellent
you forget?
question.
Were your brains replaced with aliens and you don't know how to play instruments or even write with like any lyric or progression in your music? What happened? I've never seen Remo Drive live. I can't really argue anything for that. Okay, so maybe you guys can. Guys, what happened to Remo Drive after their first album? What happened? How?
They lost their drummer for one.
So it's just House of Cards. Everything just falls down. Jeez.
Well,
I don't know. I feel like they also went through a big shift in sound. They tried to do some really different stuff on their second album that just did not work. No one was asking them to do the things they did on their second album, and I think that just killed a lot of their momentum. I mean, I hate to say it, but the easiest way I can sum up my thoughts here is sophomore slump.
Continued into album 3 too.
That's a sophomore coma. That's a coma at that point, man. That's not just a slump. And now if it's on album 3, how do you rebound? And anyone else? I'm sorry, John and Mark, if you guys want to add anything now. Mark,
let me tap in here. I think they need a break, to be honest. I think they need some time because we just got an album from them. Was it not last year that the other album came out and they already dropped album 3? Like, that is too quick. And plus, we're in the middle of quarantine. You can't even tour this material right now. I don't see what the rush was to get out the third album when, I mean, outside of like maybe a few songs, I legitimately did try because I really do love their first album. I'm literally in the thank you credits printed on their album. Me and Fantano were on there.
That's awesome.
And it just feels awkward now because it's just like I really don't like anything else since then.
I mean, I certainly don't want to hate them as much.
I don't either. And that's my thing either.
It's just boring.
Mark, you have thoughts. I know you have thoughts. Mark, what are your thoughts?
I didn't even like their first album.
Really?
I didn't think there was anything all that special on their first album. The second album was no fun. They already have a third album that I've heard parts of, and I'm like, this is pointless. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, even as someone who is not a fan, they completely tanked. I'll respond to you, John. I completely get why they put out a new album so quickly, just to try to get ahead of it, so people don't wallow on the second one as long as they did. But if your third album's not any good, then
that's a bad game.
Check out their Instagram comments on anything they post. The fans are not here for it. You know,
and that's the thing that worries me. To me, I'm looking at the questions of what happened to the second album? What happened with management that they got pushed in this particular direction? Because to me, a lot of this feels like you don't get a dramatic sound shift like this without some level of behind the scenes prodding. Because from what you guys have described to me, they're pretty level-headed guys. Like,
yeah, Eric is self-producing now, album 2 and 3, which I think definitely could have made a big change. They're signed to Epitaph, so I wouldn't imagine there's too much interference. It could be the self-producing.
Could be.
Could it just be something like if they work with not only just a producer but another creative mind to give them a new direction? Even if they don't just try to do their first album part 2, just another direction that they're going now, because what they are middling with is just producing no results. And I don't know. That's just me. I still enjoy the band. I will still listen to album number 4 because I really did enjoy that debut. I thought that was like something to spark for a new band, and then nothing. So. Okay, so this is not a fun one. How do we kill Remo Drive?
With kindness. Can we kill him with kindness?
I was about to say I cannot be a part of this.
Yeah, neither can I. Really.
We make sure they're asleep before we put the pillow over their heads.
Okay. I mean that's still mean, but I can live with that.
Honestly, you know what I'd like to see them do? Put them in a studio with Steve Albini.
Yeah. Ooh. Because we could get an in utero or Surfer Rose out of them.
I feel like they would take that into a new direction that they have not done and is far away from what they're doing now.
I think Albini is a pretty hands-off producer as well, but he would have enough of the rawness to the sound that might be able to give him something.
Yeah. I'd like that.
I like that. I like where your head's at too, Mark.
Works for me. That, yeah. Good suggestion. Good discussion. We still like Remo Drive. We want no bad things to happen to them. Please do not take this out of context. We want the best for them.
Guys.
We want to be surprised with good music. That's a good way to put it. We're anxiously looking forward to album 4.
I'm ready to wake up on that one.
2022? Maybe take 2022, though, guys. Just take your time.
Yeah.
So if we make it to 2022, I'm sure it'll be great.
Crash, we're going to move in with Mark in Canada where it's safe. Duh.
You teased.
Crash is gonna be with a sleeping bag on Mark's doorstep tomorrow morning.
You can't cross the border.
I can try.
I don't know, with that hat, maybe. Okay.
I know some of the mannerisms. I know what it's all about. I'm sorry. I apologize ahead of time.
Maple syrup, eh? Just there you go. Just something completely off.
Okay, that's unforgivable.
So, okay, and stop. Oh wow, we are going back to the 90s. Okay, this is the alternative scene, and I don't know. I think this is kind of interesting. Alanis Morissette versus Fiona Apple.
Not fair.
Not fair.
It's different.
Not fair at all.
But
I'll answer it.
I'll answer
it too. I don't know if you'll like my
We're
answer,
going back to
answer it.
I can at least see why they would ask that, but it is a touch unfair. So
it's tough. It's the tough one. It really is.
It almost is an apples and oranges thing. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For Alanis Morissette. 1, 2, 3.
Nobody.
Really? Wow.
Wow. Okay, I'll take one. I don't care. I'll
take Crash is gonna be nice to Alanis.
Okay, Alanis does not deserve total death here, so no, I'll step in for Alanis.
Well, she is gonna die then. So, and Fiona Apple. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So, since Crash was the dissenter who's gonna step up to the bat for Alanis Morissette, what do you think?
Jagged Little Pill. Yeah. I know Fiona's work is very. She's got a great body of work, and again, this is just so unfair because it's two very different things.
They are different. Yeah.
But again, Alanis has had the shakier career overall, but man, she just knocked it out of the park with Jagged Little Pill. And, comparing Jagged Little Pill to, I don't even remember, what was the Fiona Apple album that runs along with that one? The one with Criminal
on it. Yeah.
Oh,
Apple,
the first album title.
Yeah, Apple. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I mean, comparing those two, I mean, that one was Fiona's record was fantastic, but man, Jagged Little Pill, it is one of those albums when people think, what is the album of 1995? If you had to pick one, what is an album that absolutely nails the sound of that year?
What
Cracked Rear View by
I was going to say Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yes, but also, okay? I guarantee you there are more people who for whom Jagged Little Pill is the album of their childhood than the Fiona Apple comparison.
Right.
I can at least see that one. Okay. Mark, why does Fiona Apple get the thumbs up?
It's close. I like Alanis a lot. Jagged Little Pill to me is a classic album.
Yes.
The problem is Alanis has one classic album. Fiona has two, arguably three. And I'll be honest, like for me, and this has kind of bothered me a little bit, Alanis Morissette's influence doesn't extend that far. Like she's got her distinctive sound and scene, but she moves in a very willowy indie pop direction to a certain extent, where I feel like what a lot of the groundwork that Fiona Apple laid has led to a lot more acts I like Nico Case, Florence and the Machine, Adele. You can argue Lord's in there as well. There's a lot of groundwork that Fiona Apple has laid that it's hard to argue against.
Okay, fair enough. John, why does Fiona Apple get the thumbs up?
It's the longevity. It's the fact that she takes her time between records, and I think a lot of Alanis's material has been kind of flimsy, to be honest, in like the past few decades. Not to say that there's nothing that I haven't enjoyed in there, but compared to Jagged, which was a fantastic jump, like lightning rod jumping off point. Compared to that, though, like there's nothing that's come close to that. And the fact that Fiona in 2020 is putting out a record that's attracting just as much, if not more, acclaim and attention this far into her career, I mean, that says something about her as an artist.
Okay, fair enough.
Touche. Fetch the Bolt Cutters does make this a more difficult discussion, I will certainly
Yeah, if that doesn't come out,
Alanis' new album is supposed to come out this year too, guys. I hope you guys realize
It's coming out this
okay.
Friday.
It's this soon.
Oh, no shit.
This 2020 was supposed to be her big comeback tour year too. She was going to go on tour with Garbage. So
Oh, that would have been good.
I
would
love
be good.
Garbage, by the way, so I would have been all over that just for that. But yeah, 2020, we got 2020. So really quick for
2020.
mine, I know I will. You can't have me take away anything from Jagged Little Pill. After Jagged Little Pill, I'm talking not even immediately after. There was so much just. Let me put it this way: Alanis Morissette did not do as much lane changing and free will spirit of do whatever you want, make the music that gets your point across any means necessary that Fiona Apple did, and she's still doing it. Fetch the Bolt Cutters may not be my favorite album of the year, but it's so good. It's so interesting. It is a breath of fresh air from an artist who's been doing it now for 25 years, and she still is impressing people in bits and pieces individually and getting that spark. I mean, I do kind of see the point of she spaced her albums out quite a bit, and Alanis just took much time to do nothing. I mean, after that thank you music video and that thank you song, I think that was Alanis's moment where people started jumping off the ship.
But what about her beautiful cover of My Humps by the Black Eyed Peas?
I didn't know that was a thing.
John,
Oh,
are you
that
making
was
that
a
up?
thing.
John, are you making that up? Because I don't like
Nope,
liars.
everyone go look it up because I swear to God it's real.
See, I can't blame Alanis for much because she was in a much different label situation than Fiona Apple was. Fiona
Again,
Apple's
it's
had
apples and
great-
oranges, yeah.
Fiona Apple's has had major label, like Fiona Apple's had the flexibility to do whatever she wants and take 8 years between albums, whereas Alanis Morissette was on a major label. Like there was drama and bullshit surrounding her until the 2000s. I can't blame her that much for that. It's the same argument like I make coming down hard on Jay Electronica. If you have all the privileges in the world for being an artistic savant and you get all the time in the world to do so, you operate on a slightly different schedule. Whereas Alanis, she didn't have that luxury.
I get
That's
that.
fair.
I get that too, but I don't know. Because I see that more as like a business stance too, like Fiona sticking to her grounds, like I don't have to ever sign to a big label. My jumping off point, my big peak, my big spark was the same time frame technically. I think it was like a year difference as Jagged Little Pill. So why does she so Alanis is signed to a big label and I can do whatever I want. No, you can't.
Yeah, but the whole lightning in the bottle thing when it came with Fiona Apple, Tidal would not have worked as well as it did in any other year besides 95, 96.
That's true.
Like if that drops in 2003 or drops in 89, that won't click.
That Criminal music video would not have worked in 89. That is correct.
You're right.
That is correct. So, Alanis Morissette must die in the Rock Coliseum, unfortunately. How does Alanis... Oh. I know, hey, we're not nice people. We've already established that. How does Alanis Morissette die in the Coliseum, though? She's also Canadian, isn't she?
Yes.
I thought she was. Is there a...
she does a Drake covers album.
Yes, she does, by the way. That is very much worth checking out. But I say she dies from embarrassment when all her teen pop stuff from way, way back in the day comes back to the surface. Mark, do you happen to remember that?
I don't remember. I know
of
it.
I liked that stuff.
Okay. I don't know. I never. We never saw that here in the States, so I don't know.
We did. We heard a bunch. Here's the thing. I don't know how many of you watch How I Met Your Mother.
I've seen episodes.
Okay, there was an arc on one of the characters, Robin Scherbatsky on the show. She's Canadian, and they kind of stylized a lot of her secret pop star career after Alanis Morissette. So she had her early late 80s pop sparkles years, and then she had her darker pivots. And they literally got who was the guy who dated Alanis for Jagged Little Pill?
Dave Coulier. Full House.
Dave Coulier. They actually integrated him into the show.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's interesting.
That's such an in-joke too. Only total nerds would get that.
Only total nerds and only total Canadians would get that.
Only Canadian nerds. The kids in the halls absolutely lost their shit over that.
So that's a good way to put it. Alanis Morissette dies the same way that TV show How I Met Your Mother dies. Making all the fans make all the fans angry, ruins an entire series, and is talked about poorly from then on.
Damn.
That hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts.
I wasn't even a diehard fan of the show. I've only seen a handful of episodes. I remember that backlash, though.
I did a reaction video to the final episode, and that video wound up was one of the biggest videos on my channel for a long time.
Yeah. It was rough. It was rough. So... Good suggestion, though. That was it was a weird one, but it was a good one. I do kind of appreciate the discussion on both artists on that. Sorry that Alanis had to die, but, we're not fair here.
I'm hoping the new album's good.
I am, too. I'm curious. So, and...
She had a feature on that Halsey album that was really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
That was a nice,
Her interlude was,
very good. Very well done.
And...
Alanis still has it, huh?
Stop. Okay, we're going to have some hurt feelings on this one because this is some of your favorites being put against each other. Red Hot Chili Peppers versus Green Day.
Okay.
Ouchie.
I'm thinking.
I got an answer.
Do you guys have answers? Okay, Crash and Mark. John does. Okay. Yeah, I'm very split on mine. So okay, because it was Red Hot Chili Peppers first. Okay, for Red Hot Chili Peppers, 1, 2, 3.
Really? Come on.
You knew what my answer was going to be.
I know what yours was, but I figured somebody else would tag
I'm super... mine's like 51, 49%. Okay, Green Day. 1, 2, 3. I'll start because I think I have the weakest... I'm not going to say I love both bands, but I'm not going to say I'm the expert on either one of them, as some of you guys are.
I will say that. I will say I love both, and I'm an expert.
Fair enough. The weakest parts of Red Hot Chili Peppers are boring. The weakest parts of Green Day are, oh my gosh, no. That's my way of comparing the two, and that's not the best comparison, but I'd stand by it. Red Hot Chili Peppers had so much to offer, but Green Day's full albums, so much with Kerplunk and Dookie, then the reinventing with going into American Idiot, and they still were trying to do it. I'm curious to see what's going to happen after 2020, if Green Day survives 2020. If any of us survive 2020, who knows? I would still say Green Day, though, because the Green Day albums peak more for me and more memorable as complete albums, more of them than Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I love Californication and Blood Sugar Sex Magic, so don't get it twisted that I dislike them. So that's just my piece. Mark, why does Green Day get the thumbs up?
I'm echoing a lot of what you said here. I will go back to Green Day more than I will Chili Peppers, especially as my favorite Chili Peppers is 80s Chili Peppers. So
style,
I need to be in a very specific mood for that. Whereas Green Day, I can put on at any time. I do wish that we had had a little bit more time and that with the reunited lineup with Frusciante had come in and that we had heard a new Chili Peppers album to compare with that disaster Green Day put out earlier this year.
I would not say it's
call
a
it a
disaster.
disaster.
I would not say it's a disaster, but I will say it's not Green Day standard. Is that a good way to?
No.
Is that a polite way to put it? Okay.
Yeah.
So-
No, I agree.
John,
It's not their worst, but it's far from their best.
I can't argue that.
that's
Can't argue that. John, to round out the Green Day discussion, why did they get the thumbs up? Saying that they are your number
it's a
one.
full length. Yeah, they're my favorite band, first of all. So obviously, like if you ask me anything versus Green Day, I think you know where my answer is gonna land. But like it's just a full album versus like not as many full albums thing with the Chili Peppers. It's not to say it's just singles, but there's generally like a selection of tracks per album that I like and keep in rotation. And with Green Day, there's more full-length albums, from the underrated ones like Nimrod and Warning to even some of the modern stuff, like some of the songs from Revolution Radio and obviously American Idiot. So,
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, Crash, why does Red Hot Chili Peppers get the thumbs up?
Okay, see, John, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, whereas Green Day are your boys. Dude, I've shown this.
I know.
off
Yeah.
before. Yeah. Like,
And I get it.
I gotta stand
No,
up
we're
for
not
my
knocking
boys,
Red
you know?
Hot
I
Chili
get it.
Peppers.
No, of
That's not
course.
the
They're in
case.
my top 10 favorite bands too. So,
Yeah, no, like same. They
Yeah.
are like in my top 10 favorite bands, you know? So it's like, as much as I love Green Day, as much as I respect Green Day, and, you know, as much great material as Green Day has put out, man, when the Red Hot Chili Peppers strike, they strike so hard for me. Like,
Yeah.
Green
I
Day
get
is a
that.
band that can make a good political song where they absolutely want to, or they can make a nice, snotty, fun bouncer song. But man, like when it comes to getting like really down and emotional and really serious, they just have nothing on the Peppers, man. Scar Tissue, Soul to Squeeze, fucking Under the Bridge, you know, like the Peppers also have that side to them too. But man, when they really bring it out, they 100% bring it out. I mean, John, you guys saying that the classic Green Day albums, you know, are so memorable. And I'm sitting here like, well, you know, Californication, Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
dude, the
Fucking-
3-album run. I'm not gonna argue from starting with Californication, By the Way, and Stadium Arcadium, all of those in a row, amazing.
Oh my god, I would. And while the Peppers did have their dips too, I'm looking at you, the Getaway. You know,
Yep.
it's
I'll defend it. I like that one.
it's fine, but you know, I don't know. I've always felt like the Peppers, they are better musicians for one. They can just play their
That is
instruments
true.
better. That's
I
just
see that. Yeah,
they just got it more in like a
drumming
skill,
and bass
just
are
a raw
untouchable
skill.
when you compare the two. So percussion
Exactly.
side, yeah.
So yeah,
Okay,
but
so how does Red Hot Chili Peppers die in the Rock Coliseum?
y'all are killing all my faves here.
Damn.
Oh.
I don't know if I have a good one for this one.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, given that their
Good.
given that their reunion with John Frusciante, which is going to be a huge goddamn deal,
It hasn't
got
happened
interrupted by goddamn COVID outbreak. I don't know, man. Haven't they? They're already dead, right?
Yeah. Frusciante leaves the band again.
Ooh.
And Josh says, fuck you, when they ask him to come back.
On wood, damn it, not on wood.
Oh.
See, I'm not going to go that far. I was just going to say they record with Frusciante, but Brian Burton has to produce again. But
And he's a great producer, and I'm sure he'll do a fantastic job.
sure.
Good on you.
That's a polite death. That's much nicer than my Alanis Morissette dies the same way How I Met Your Mother die. So
Oh, yeah, I agree.
we'll do one more, then we'll call it halftime because we did start like 2 minutes late. And thank you guys again. Please like this video if you haven't already. It helps out a ton to get this pushed to other non-subscribers. Keep the super chats coming. They will be read at random in the second half. And for the last one, And stop. Okay. Album versus album. So we haven't done this one yet. Going to Metallica. Ride the Lightning versus Master of Puppets.
Okay.
All right.
I got an answer. Okay.
I do too.
So
I do too.
That was first. Okay. Ride the Lightning. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
I knew this was going to happen.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I kind of figured it might.
Master of Puppets. 1, 2, 3.
Forgive us.
I know.
Forgive us,
No.
Mark. We're big.
Love Ride the Lightning. Don't make us say that we are putting it down.
Yeah.
Mark, why don't you?
No.
Mark, please defend Ride the Lightning.
Okay, the big defense that the argument I've had about this, and this is an argument you run into at every single metal bar between these two albums.
Yes.
And the album is that Master of Puppets is more complex. There's more going on there. The songs are a little bit more developed. But at the same time, I always think it's a little bit more hit and miss in spots. It's a little patchier. Whereas Ride the Lightning, it's a little simpler. It's a little bit more super aggressive, brutal into the speed and thrash metal, but it's consistent as hell. It's the sort of project that delivers exactly what I want all the time, and the bass lines are so good.
Okay.
The bass lines are so good. The grooves are so good.
Let me go next then, just to add on that, because for Master of Puppets, for me, Cliff Burton was taken way too soon, and he proved that in Master of Puppets 2. Orion is the song that proves to me that one of the greatest bassists ever died at 24. 24. Going back to the albums, though, I have no arguments against Ride the Lightning. One will forever be one of the best metal songs ever, but at the same time, I do get the point. Master of Puppets was when Metallica was able to take 2 years to write the album. It wasn't just bam, bam, Ride the Lightning right after Kill 'Em All. And they nailed it with what they were trying to create. Something different, something more meaningful. They proved they could do it. And that's why it sticks out a little bit more for Master of Puppets. Love Ride the Lightning. Please don't say I hate Ride the Lightning. That would actually get me upset. So
You hate Ride the Lightning.
take it, John. That's the one quote everyone's going to call on now.
Luke hates Ride the Lightning.
John, why do you support Master of Puppets?
So you pose that question like it's a Twitter thread or something. Why do you support this album?
Hashtag answers.
Master of Puppets was one of, if not my first metal album that I ever heard in full. So
I get that.
Forever indebted to that sound. Literally, I went over to my buddy Coleman's house after school in like 7th or 8th grade, and he was playing me some stuff, and that was the first full album that I heard. So while I love Ride the Lightning, that one and the Black Album are always going to stand out in my eyes the most.
Okay. And Crash, why does Master of Puppets get the thumbs up?
See, John, I've got that love for the Black Album too, because that was like my first metal album. So it's like
those were like back to back for me, I think, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, there's not much more I can add to this. I feel like, whereas again, I am one of those guys like this is a Sophie's choice for me. God damn it, because they are such classic fucking albums.
That's a
dude.
serious debate now.
It is hard to pick between those two. It really is. But man, I just feel like Master of Puppets is that peak early era of Metallica. Like, it is them at their most super concentrated, crazy good. I will agree with Mark in that, yes, Ride the Lightning is more consistent, but man, there's so much more flexing, there's so much more raw talent. That was the moment where the flower fully bloomed for this band, and you could tell, oh, they're not just a good metal band, they are like a crazy good band. Yeah. There is like something way more legit than just raw thrash here. These guys are capable of some shit. That was
they crossed over a bit with that. Well, not a bit, a ton.
They became household names at that point. So
that was not only an album where people sort of got what Metallica was all about, but that was also, like you say, John, that was like a moment where other people started to kind of get it. That was an album that kind of helped thrash gradually bleed into, the mainstream. It stopped being this niche, weird little thing, and other people, a more general audience could understand why thrash was as great as it was. I feel like it's a more important record than Ride the Lightning. Well, Ride the Lightning has its again, I'm not going to slander Ride the Lightning, but man, peak Metallica is probably right there at Master of Puppets. It never gets much better than Master of Puppets. It goes in a lot of different directions from that point, but yeah, that's probably the best, just the moment where Metallica is the most Metallica.
Okay. So, how do we destroy Ride the Lightning in the Coliseum?
Again, I don't want to.
I don't want to either.
I know. See, this is what happens when you guys keep complaining. Oh, we don't have it. We get all these lame ones that suck. Well, now we have to get the good ones.
All right, here we go. Ride the Lightning gets covered by Train.
Oh!
And they do it too. They cover the class.
They covered Zeppelin,
Yeah, so why not Metallica?
When they covered The Doors' "Light My Fire," that was on my top 10 worst cover songs. That was blasphemy. That would be worse though if they covered one. It really would.
Come on, don't you want to light? Don't you want to light Pat Monahan's fire?
My breath is I wish for devil. That's what you're asking for right there.
The Patrick Monahan impression, what everyone wanted.
Exactly. Yacht rock crash.
Here's the thing. It could either be I could either see Pat Monahan at least trying, or the Flaming Lips covering Ride the Lightning. Could you imagine what that would be?
They would make it intentionally weird though. When the Flaming Lips do that, they try to go wildly off key, intentionally.
Yeah, but does anyone want to hear that?
No, they don't. But I at least understand
the purity of something like Ride the Lightning and turning it into a Flaming Lips abomination.
I agree. I don't think anyone wants but that. I at least get the logic behind that. Patrick Monahan covering one. Patrick Monahan covering one would make me go full Kyle and drive my head through drywall. Okay?
Full Kyle. I love that.
Full Kyle. No monster needed. Full Kyle. So.
Okay.
What a good way to end round one. Sorry, everyone. So I know we have many super chats. They're all popped out. I'm going to set that up for the second half. We're going to take a 5-minute break in case these guys need water, need to do anything. Please like this video. Please keep sharing this. We still have just over 400 people watching right now, according to my checker.
Wow.
That's huge for us. It really helps us a ton. We love doing this. Thank you for the suggestions. The suggestions were really good this time. I stand by. Those are really good suggestions. Well done. Thank you for not giving us Nickelback versus Five Finger Death Punch again. Yeah, that's right. We know who we are. We know. So we have a few minutes. Is there anything you guys would like to plug while I set up the super chats and things like that? Crash, just for the people that might not have caught it, is there anything you want to say about your new hat first?
Oh, well, my new hat, as you can see, my new hat, it's lovely. It's got these little flaps, and it's got strings too, which, are fun to play with, and you tie it around. It's nice and cozy. It's a little hot for it right now. And my favorite feature, it's got this little bubble right here, just this little poof, just this little poof right there. It's like a South Park hat.
Yeah,
it's not obnoxious.
Lets everyone know that you got a playful side. You're not just all business.
Yes, exactly. Handmade quality too. You can't really. That's worth the extra money, so it lasts a little bit longer. So good.
Yeah, you sewed that yourself, if I'm not mistaken.
I wish.
Mark and John, what do you guys have coming up soon?
John,
go ahead, Mark. Oh, well, look at that awkwardness. Well, I just dropped my Q2 album awards coverage, which is like a roundup awards ceremony where I give out fun, stupid, or serious awards to albums that I deemed the best or worst of the quarter. And that took up like a considerable portion of my past month. So that's out now if you want to watch that on the main channel. And tonight, after this our stream ends, I'm dropping my Logic review. So
okay, the final Logic album review.
Yes, the final album.
The final.
No pressure,
Mark.
No pressure to go check it out, but do it.
Mark, what do you have coming up soon?
Okay, for me, I was actually planning on having On the Pulse out tomorrow. It's going to be delayed till Friday. This week has been stupid. Don't even want to go into details about that. Up until recently, newest episode of Billboard Breakdown dropped yesterday. On Monday, I had the Taylor Swift review. Honestly, that album is really damn good and only growing on me with more repeated listens. I still think it's inconsistent. And I might like Lover as a listening experience a little more than Folklore.
Did you hear that? Honestly. Did you hear that? That's the Taylor fans coming racing towards you.
Running?
Yes.
Well, that's running. Okay. That's okay. I dated one for a lot of last year, so I'll be able to handle that.
You know how to take it. Okay. That's good.
I know how to diffuse it. So overall, I feel like the big project I'm currently working on behind the scenes is my albums of the 2010s. I would love to have the time to finish going through that list because it's going to be a top 100. And it is massive. And I keep trying to get the time to listen to like 5 or 6 albums in a go. And it's just a lot.
Fair enough. It'll be worth it, though, in the long run.
I'm hoping I can get it out before the end of the summer. That's my plan.
I think you can do that. So, Crash, what do you have coming up soon?
Thank you. I was going to be like, okay, was my segment just
no? That's all you get.
No, we cut yours, Crash.
I'm not that big of a jerk.
I just recently dropped. I recently dropped my latest episode of Fimi here for quarter 2 of 2020. 40 albums reviewed on that. Those are always a fun blast. You know, those are always a nice rapid fire kind of thing, and a lot of interesting stuff on that video too. That's definitely worth checking out. Outside of that, I also recently dropped my How to Get Into Dark Souls video here. That's another really big one. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I know a little outside of the thing I usually do, but it's, again, people really seem to like it. It's, again, that was a fun video to work on. I'm just a hugest Dark Souls nerd in the world, so it was just fun to gush for way too goddamn long about it. But
fair enough.
Yeah, no, that was fun. And something, if you don't mind me announcing a little thing here, at the end, that's after the Rock Coliseum here, so don't go rushing away or anything, but at the end of the Rock Coliseum, I will actually be posting the next producers poll over on my Patreon. We're going to vote on the next long-form video that's going to pop up on the channel, and that is going to be an episode of I Love This Song. That's what we're going to do. Okay, after the last couple of vids I've done here, like I and 2020 in general, I need something to chill with here. Like, legit, don't we all? So, another episode. We're going to be voting on another episode of I Love This Song. I've got 6 tracks picked out. And if you want to head over to Patreon, it's only a $1 pledge or more to get into the producers poll where you can vote on what that song is going to be. I'm going to be posting that after the Rock Coliseum, like literally immediately after we finish. That poll is going to go up. So if you guys want to head over to patreon.com/CrashThompsonXL, you can check that out when it drops, and you can be able to influence what the next big, long video I do is. So
I would also just like to add, all 3 of these gentlemen have Patreon accounts that are very active and supportive. Please consider checking them out. $2 a month goes a long way. And I speak on this out of personal experience as I have a Patreon account too. And I can speak on behalf of these guys because I'm sure they feel the same. We all love our fans and supporters, but we love our patrons more.
I mean, it helps.
Sorry, we do have favorite children. Your parents lied to you. There was always a favorite child. And for us, it's our patrons. That's just how it is. Was that a good sales pitch? I felt like I nailed it. I feel like I really hit it out of the park. Thank you.
You nailed it. I cannot agree nor disagree, and my lawyer will be in touch if I stand by that statement or not.
I just couldn't possibly comment.
Okay, fair enough. Give me 30 seconds. I just need to switch out my chair because I'm scooting back and forth. I need to get a stool, and then we'll be ready to go, okay?
Okay.
30 seconds. Okay, grab a drink. Entertain anyone as much as you want. Don't talk about me, though.
All right, Mark, what shall we do now that we finally have the control that we wanted over this stream? This is kind of what we've been planning anyways, to branch off into our own rock.
Okay, we've named this entirely as a hip-hop stream. We're just going to be talking entirely about the newest advances in trap music. I feel like
John... And you invited me on?
Exactly. I feel like your perspective would just be invaluable to discussing the newest stuff we're getting from DaBaby and Roddy Ricch.
Absolutely. Yeah, here's what I have to say on that. We're informing you we're reinventing Rock Coliseum to specifically focus on trap music.
Oh.
And and we're looking to get John's contribution specifically on what he
Of course,
wants to
invited
talk about.
me on as the first guest because
Exactly. I
I
feel like his perspective on Roddy Ricch would be extremely rich and in depth.
Well, I feel like he's kind of put himself in a box. You know what I mean?
Damn it!
Should I leave for another 30 seconds and get this back on track now? Yikes!
I
Crash
killed Mark KO with one pun.
Crash, they're talking about trap music. That's what happens when we leave them unattended.
And not the album by T.I. either.
That's a great album. By the way.
It is, and I recently covered that album on an episode of 7 on Sunday. I love that album.
Okay. Well, if we're all situated, we will go through as many super chats as we can. You can still get them in. Again, they're read at random, so don't feel like you're at a disadvantage if you haven't got it in just yet. Let me pull up the chat. Do this. This is always interesting because some of the super chats are either amazing or wildly inappropriate. There's never any gray area. Never, ever, ever, ever. Okay, pull this out. Sorry, I gotta get all this stuff out of the way. Thank you guys again. Hit the like button if you haven't already. It helps a ton for this video. Thank you guys. Go ahead.
They say I have no audio. Can you guys hear me?
You're good.
Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
I can hear you. Can everyone?
I think he just wasn't saying anything, guys.
Chat, let us know. But
Can you
let us
hear
know if you-
us all?
Yeah, they're saying I got muted, but if you guys can hear me, that doesn't
make any sense because I wouldn't be able to hear. They wouldn't be able to hear all three of you because you're on
Yeah,
the
the
same
chat's
line.
slightly delayed. I just think you weren't talking at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
I can hear y'all. Can't hear Crash. Okay, your audio is back. Good now. I can hear you.
Okay.
Now I can hear you,
Okay.
Crash.
Perfect.
Thank
Cool.
you. Like this video if you can hear Crash. Perfect.
La 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 la.
Hold it as
this
ransom
video.
over their heads, Luke.
Yes. Hey, it's better than like we did 2 times ago when the pandemic started. If you've washed your hands already, like this video. And then, we got a good amount of people, but it wasn't anywhere close, and we were all disgusted. A lot of you didn't wash your hands, you sick nasties. Gross.
Some people are probably watching on a device where they can't actually access the like
Yeah,
button
there you
somehow. I can't do it.
Okay, super chats. Okay, this is going to be something. And we got the first one here. It is, that's actually not too bad. Okay. From Goku-san DBZ, Bowling for Soup versus Fallout Boy.
Oh.
I know the answer to this one already.
Yeah,
Crash,
easy.
you have a chance? Okay.
I-
In order I read them. Okay. Bowling for Soup. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Fall-
Thank you.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Fallout Boy. 1, 2, 3. We'll go a bit quicker on this one. Nothing against Bowling for Soup, but both the talents and the novelty of Bowling for Soup is charming, and I like the music, but Fallout Boy have truly strong albums in the 2000s that are untouchable. 2000s.
Yeah, but
the
the Bowling
2000s.
for Soup frontman, he is the voice of Chuck E. Cheese now in the commercials. So, what do you got on that?
I thought they went bankrupt.
Do you know how much money that he demands? I mean, he's like the biggest one on the payroll. Come on, you gotta pay the voice of Chuck.
Does anyone else have anything they want to add to Bowling for Soup? And
I will say,
Okay.
for as bad as some of Fallout Boy's more recent output has been, I mean, people, that doesn't cancel out the good stuff.
I
And
agree.
Bowling for Soup, I can remember 2 songs from them,
Yeah.
and that's about it. At least
Let me
Fallout
guess,
Boy.
one's 1985, right?
that's the
85
song.
one.
So yeah.
That's the one, but
Yeah.
I own multiple Bowling for Soup albums,
Okay.
so I have 2 or 3 of them. I will stick up for them more than most, but let's be honest, it's not even a fair matchup.
It's
It
not.
feels like you're getting a jobber undercard against your main title act. It's not fair.
I agree. So
it's Hulk Hogan versus Norman Smiley, and that's just not fair.
and we like Norman
really
Smiley, but even so, it's
Yeah.
not fair. So
The Big Wiggle.
yeah, exactly. So how
To the
does
5 people who get that.
Oh, I
You're
remember
welcome.
I remember the WCW dance. So how does Bowling for Soup die in the Coliseum?
Chuck E. Cheese goes bankrupt.
Chuck E. Cheese, man! They get
They're
killed by
funding
Chuck
the
E.
band.
Cheese!
They're funding the band right now.
Oh,
No, but I
man.
remember seeing something surrounding Chuck E. Cheese maybe going bankrupt. So, like,
Yeah,
that
in
was-
they
the
filed.
States. Yeah, in States they filed already. So,
Yeah.
I mean, well, think about it. If you're worried about a pandemic, Chuck E. Cheese
Who's
is
going to
the
go to the
last
mall at
place.
Chuck E. Cheese?
Oh my gosh, no! Ugh.
Man.
Good one. Good suggestion, though. I do like it. Moving on. And to the next super chat from Jacob Sanchez. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Maybe I just wrote there. My Bloody Valentine. We've not done that one
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Everyone have an opinion?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. My Bloody Valentine on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I kind of hate to... Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I was confusing them for someone else. I'm sorry.
Who are you confusing them for?
I was confusing
for
them
My
for Bullet for My Valentine. Yeah.
Wow, that is a big difference.
I'm glad I realized that mistake. Holy
Oh no.
have been a moment.
We're all just over here giving enthusiastic thumbs up to Bullet for My Valentine.
Yeah, I was like, wait. It's not that Valentine.
This
It's
is
My
late 80s,
Valentine.
early 90s. My Bloody
Yeah,
Valentine.
yeah. Of course.
John, why don't you go first for My Bloody Valentine? We'll keep our thoughts quick on this one because this was unanimous. So
Yeah. I mean, Loveless is a outright
That's fine.
classic.
Yeah.
I mean, that album, like, literally probably at this point up there. It's somewhere in my top 50 of all time, I'm sure. But as I've gotten more into even stuff outside of that, it speaks for itself. They got that sound. They pretty much pioneered the shoegaze genre, like with the glide guitar technique that is it Kevin Shields? Is that his name? Am I right about that?
I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't
Kevin
know off the top of my
Shields. Yeah. Anyways, just the way the sounds that they're able to emit, and especially like in the late '80s, early '90s, they clearly influenced like a ton of bands that still to this day. So
head. Okay. Mark, you have anything you want to add for My Bloody Valentine?
Not a lot. They were not a go-to shoegaze band for me. I put the early Slow Dive. I would argue there's other acts in that very specific niche in the very late 80s, early 90s that do it a little more for me. But My Bloody Valentine was always really good, and like I can't complain about them. They do what they do extremely well, and while they've been a little patchy at points, I'm gonna like them.
Okay. Crash, anything you want to add for My Bloody Valentine?
Am I fired for that mistake? I really
No,
feel
you're
like
not.
that.
Nah.
Like the
I
chat
get
is
just
saying,
for the
like,
just for the
chat
names.
is
I
going-
get it. It'd be
Yeah, like the chat is going kind of nuts over it. Like Crash 100 rate your music users cried out in pain. I felt
Good,
that
they
one.
should.
Yeah, no, I got it. But no, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. That's on me. That's on me. But I don't have too much else to add here, except that, man, My Bloody Valentine, they can be a little uneven in places. Some of their stuff doesn't hold up as well as some people like to think it does, but no one can argue the influence they've had. No one can argue that the great stuff in their catalog is just revolutionary, man. That is some of the best music to come out of the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, just absolutely. Cannot argue it. Even though, yeah, so again, I almost confused My Bloody Valentine for Bullet for My Valentine. I'm not going to live that one down. Holy shit.
I got embarrassing stories too. Really quick, first,
Okay.
John beat me to it. Loveless is the one thing that I would always recommend people check out from My Bloody Valentine. I do kind of agree with Crash. I'm not going to say everything is flawless from them. There are some moments where it's just kind of there, but at the same time, there is stuff definitely going out of your way to hearing from this band because they not only influenced many acts, man, generations after them, but they really have fallen by the wayside. They're not as appreciated for what they started, in my mind, if that makes sense.
yeah. Go check out Only Shallow. And if that hooks you, then keep going.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
There you
Good
go.
call. That was a good suggestion. Okay. And we go over here also for really quick embarrassing stories so that way Crash doesn't feel alone. I always tell this embarrassing story to make people laugh. It has nothing to do with music. When we were learning state capitals in 3rd grade, I didn't know how to pronounce Cheyenne, Wyoming, but I do remember consistently hearing the character on Martin called Shanae. So I've loved for a long time. I thought Shanae was the capital of Wyoming.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I was 9 years old, And I heard Shanae all the time. I've never heard Cheyenene. Who has? So I said Shanae, Wyoming in front of the class. So.
Oh, Shanae.
So.
That's a heartwarming story.
I was 9. I don't feel embarrassed by it. Come on.
Was your teacher a big Martin fan?
Oh man, that would have been great if she was. No, she was not. I think if I remember, just kids were like confused, like what? So again, I probably was confused. I was 9, but I just distinctly remember Shanae, Wyoming, and being corrected Cheyenne. So okay.
Y'all ain't got Shanae fever.
Let's go to Shanae. Cheyenne? Yeah, Shanae. Okay. So, now the chat's ripping me apart for Shanae. I don't care. I'll die on that hill. That's fine. And
next super chat.
Yes. Next one is from Jacob Nicola. Sorry again for pronunciations. I'm terrible about this. Hey, we actually got to this one though. Garbage versus the Cardigans.
I don't know the Cardigans.
I don't know. Again, I don't know if
they were much bigger in Europe. They had like a one-hit wonder in the U.S. though.
Yeah, I know which one they're talking about.
Love me, say that you love me.
Yeah, I don't like that song.
Okay, so if you guys don't have any opinion, I'll just give mine. Does anyone else have an opinion they want to do?
I love garbage.
Okay, garbage. Okay, garbage. 1, 2, 3.
I don't feel like this is
Shirley Manson.
Shirley Manson is a national treasure, and she's not even from America. So you know what? You'll never hear me say a bad thing about Garbage, the band. So I have to clarify. I have to clarify. Anyone have anything you want to add about Garbage? This is a good time to talk about them.
Not about Garbage, but I will say, in the Cardigans' defense, they have some of the cutest Black Sabbath covers you'll ever hear.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. That is a thing. The Cardigans have covered.
I have to cover
several.
Ozzy. Does he know about this?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, they're great. Like, look those up sometime. That's like a gimmick of theirs. They'll just cover a random Black Sabbath song every once in a while, and they're fantastic too. They're adorable. I love it.
Okay. Anyone else have anything they want to add for Garbage or the Cardigans?
I wish I liked the Cardigans more. Like, I don't like Love Fool. Like, I think that song is just kind of
most of their stuff is not. Most of their music is not like Love Fool either.
I know it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Which kind of frustrates me that was the song that got big because I found it really, really annoying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like they're fine. But Garbage is kind of in a different tier. I feel like again, undercard versus main act. Like
it's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not a fair comparison.
I agree. So okay, John, anything else you wanted to add or?
Thank you to whatever rock band soundtrack featured Garbage music, because that's what got me into them.
Fair enough.
I think I'm paranoid.
So the Cardigans die in the Rock Coliseum. I don't even know how to give them a death. I don't.
It's just by saying who, and then they just fall down the well.
What was that really kind of crummy like alt rock album they tried to do? The one they did after Love Fool, like that.
I don't even remember.
You know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're
Like
talking
that.
about. It's not sticking.
Yeah, they have to make a sequel to that. I feel like that'd be it. I feel like that'd be a killer.
Okay, fair
Well,
enough.
Taylor Swift already made a song called Cardigan on her newest album, and frankly,
oh crap, that's right. They're
That.
gonna be forgotten now. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All of the Google searches are going to be for Taylor now.
Yeah. Okay.
And H&M.
Moving on. That was a fun little suggestion. That wasn't too bad. Okay, moving on. And go here. Random. Okay. Interesting enough. From Bandon Barenfeld, we have AFI versus Blink-182.
Okay.
Interesting.
I have an answer.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have one too, I guess.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn. It's not even so much I'm torn. It's just like I'm trying to figure out how to compare them.
Yeah,
to
very
each
different
other.
worlds.
Different wheelhouses here.
Yeah.
I suppose I have an answer here.
I do too. Okay. For AFI.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
I might be alone on this. Okay.
I'm more stronger. Okay. And then for Blink. 1, 2, 3. Okay. John, any thoughts for Blink?
I mean, God, it is very hard to compare because I really do love both bands, and both of them for me are acts that have kind of gaping holes in some of their albums and their later year material, especially like some. I think it's just that AFI's like from Crash Love onwards has just kind of fizzled out for me. Like a lot of the stuff just doesn't do a ton for me. And Blink's last album actually surprised me with some like actual like stuff that I connected with. I think it's just more of a thing that I have a cemented place in my heart for more of Blink's discography.
Okay. Crash, why does AFI get the thumbs up?
Again, this isn't exactly entirely fair on my point, because AFI, they were like one of my favorite bands for like the longest bloody time. But the thing is, I feel like Blink-182, they are out there making pop punk, and they've done it in some different ways. They've taken different spins on it, but that's about the only trick to their book, really. I would say everything they've done is one variation of pop punk or another. AFI has done a lot more. They've been a lot more eclectic. Their earlier catalog, when it was more skate punky, they progressed to a more goth punk, a more sort of dark, sort of sinister vibe. They moved into more of a dark alternative direction, and that when they broke through to a major label, they were able to get really big and grandiose. They have had a much more interesting career trajectory than Blink have overall, I would say. And some of their biggest bops, like the biggest songs from most of Blink's catalog, they're the silliest. They're all the small things. They're the stuff that gets memed. Don't waste your time on me.
I like that song.
I like it too, but the memes ruined it. The memes kind of, like you're not gonna get. It's not gonna get as. AFI aren't quite as mimetic. They've got some mimetic stuff out there, but like I don't know. I feel like AFI just hits harder than Blink on the grand scale of things. Again, I'm not sure this is an entirely fair comparison because they are doing two very different things. But like I don't know. I will sit down for AFI way more likely than Blink, just in my book.
Mark, why does AFI get the thumbs up over Blink?
I'll keep this quick because I'm pretty lukewarm on both acts. I think AFI just have a little bit more replay value for me, a little bit broader, as what Crash described, more in the discography that I would naturally go back to. I think that Blink has better singles, for sure, in terms of songs that just punch immediately and have more distinctive impact. But AFI, to me, have the better albums, and I think the AFI albums I would go back to a bit more. And again, this is all on a very lukewarm basis, so I'm not revisiting either band that much.
Okay. And just for me, for really quickly, I like both bands fine. It's just, I feel like AFI have always been very underrated for their instrument work and actually creating groups and songs and things like that. Not to say that Blink doesn't, but I feel AFI has more variety in that style, especially in some of that 2000s work. And I'm not going to say everything from AFI was a masterpiece. It was not, but same for Blink either. So I'm just barely for AFI. Because every now and then AFI will have like an album come out that actually was like surprisingly good. Even if it doesn't get the same critical attention that Blink will get. AFI's fine. Yeah. So how does Blink die in the Coliseum? They lose Matt Skiba and they have to find another fill-in?
And they pretty much have already ditched him on all the features they cash in. Bummer. Matt Skiba's never involved in those.
That's a bummer.
That's a big bummer, yeah. Skiba deserves better, dude. He
does. I agree. Mm-hmm. So, moving on from Devin Sterling, Coheed and Cambria versus Angels and Airwaves. Related, oddly enough.
The ands.
Yeah.
Ooh, the ands, yeah.
Huh. I have an opinion. Does everyone else?
I do too.
I have one too.
Okay, since we're going through this in the reading, Coheed and Cambria. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then for Angels and Airwaves, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So Mark, why don't you go first for Angels and Airwaves?
I will stick up for Angels and Airwaves as having albums that, for what they're doing, they were at least trying to do that spacey, flighty sound a little bit more interestingly. I find Coheed just interminable. Not interminable. I just find them excruciating to get through on most albums. They had one project where they decided to write a hook, and then they decided to never do that again. So... And you know what? As much as I've developed a real frustration with a lot of prog metal and prog rock that just basically decides we're just going to make wank for 6 to 8 minutes and we're just gonna jerk off all over the place. And frankly, like at this point,
what's going on in the studio?
Well, beyond that, at this point, if your wank is not even all that interesting, or it doesn't build up to more, the circle jerk is nobody's fun, and everyone leaves with a callus. Like, come on.
Jesus.
What kind of conversation did this go down into?
Well, I guess I'm on Mark's side now. I don't want to go up against that.
I'll be brief. I can't argue that Coheed and Cambria just go off the rails after a while. Claudio Sanchez is the greatest strength of the band and the biggest weakness because he just refuses to stop writing nonsense. Can I call it nonsense? Is that fair?
Who can keep up with the lore? Who can keep up?
A fantastic guitar player. I love his voice. He has a band behind him that knows how to play. They just cannot focus. I still put that above Angels and Airwaves because Coheed and Cambria, they have definitely always had they've always had my attention one way or another. There's been songs from Angels and Airwaves where I could not even pay to notice. I just can't. There's just nothing there that sparks any emotion for me. For some of their stuff, I still like them fine. I'm just saying, though, there's more to dive into with Coheed and Cambria, for good or bad, but I'll take that for what it's worth. I completely do agree with the sentiment, maybe not the actual analogy, but the sentiment of what Mark was trying to put. For 6 to 8 minutes of just high 15 fret guitar shredding, tapping for no reason while singing about, Domino the alien, rushing down to save his alien bride. What are you doing? I don't know what's going on. Please.
Domino the alien. I must have missed that plot.
Domino is one of the characters. One of the characters is named Domino in one of the albums. I know that for a fact. So
it's the Armory Wars, right? That's the whole
Armory Wars.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
John.
Volume 48, section 15 of Comic 12.
I forgot my appendices. Do I need that to translate any of the works? Crash, why don't you go for Coheed and Cambria?
Again, for as graphic as your analogy was, Mark, I cannot disagree. I cannot disagree one iota because, Coheed have their problems. I have gone off on some of the problems that Coheed has. But I don't know. At the end of the day, God damn, are they ambitious? I have to give them credit for their ambition. I have to give them credit for the talent. They can really play. They can really just deliver. And again, it's another one of those factors that, man, the people who are ride or die for Coheed, they don't give a fuck because they are giving them just everything they want and more. So I gotta give them credit there.
They'll take out a loan on their house to buy that LP box set that they put out and all the comic books and stuff. They don't care.
Yeah, you know what? I have my frustrations with Coheed, but I will certainly give them credit where it's due. Angels and Air. See, the thing is, Coheed, I feel like their problem is over ambition, whereas Angels and Airwaves' problem is just delusion. Here's the thing. I know Coheed and Cambria can be wanky, but God, have you heard some of these Angels and Airwaves lyrics? And I love lovely love. Love is lovely love. Did you know I love love and all is love? I'll make 2 albums about love. Dude, Tom, you are not nearly as deep as you think you are. You don't play as well as you think you are. These lyrical themes do not mean what you think they mean. Bro, I've said Coheed have been buried up their own ass, but Tom DeLonge thinks he can sing.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I know that's harsh. I apologize to all the Angels and Airwaves fans that are at my door right now waiting to rip me limb from limb, but I'm sorry. It's especially those last few Angels and Airwaves albums, the albums where Adam Ward and the rest of the guys who were in those first 2 albums, after they all left, man, the quality is down.
It was
the Dreamwalker. You're not going to find me defending albums like that. Yeah.
John, why does Coheed get the thumbs up over Angels and Airwaves?
Oh, my God, I'm almost inclined to switch sides after that argument from Crash just to rebuttal a few of those points, but I really do like them as a live band, Coheed, that is. I saw them last year. My friend's wife actually bought, me and my friend, meet and greets with the band, and we skipped it because I didn't want to meet them.
Oh.
I was like, I wouldn't get anything from this, so I'm just not going to do it. It just didn't seem like something I wanted to do. But I'm not a huge fan of either. I will say, though, that since the original members of Angels and Airwaves came back, I have really liked the past 3 singles they've dropped, and that really caught me off guard.
I haven't heard them all, but I know they're trying. They're trying to.
Yeah, they're definitely trying again, and I didn't feel like they were trying for 7 years. So we'll see. This song could go to a different side if you ask me again in 6 months.
Okay, fair enough. Mm-hmm. So as of now, how do Angels and Airwaves die in the Coliseum?
I don't know. The one thing that Crash did mention was the Love Project, which I thought was crap, and I agree with that. That's crap. So they have to make a
I would just
have to make
Go ahead.
They have to make as many parts the Love Project as there are for the sequels of the Amory Wars.
Oh god!
Ouch. Do they have to make make comic books with them too? Just saying love.
They already do.
Yeah, they already do.
No, but for that though, in that style of Claudio Sanchez comic books, but the Love Project.
Oh my god! Also, have to collaborate together on a comic.
By the way, can we just
don't give ideas?
Don't think that I'm skimming over the fact that Crash Thompson just gave one of his best impressions ever in Rock Coliseum history, zooming into the camera, going love, 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 love.
So I do not like Angels and Airwaves. I'm not a big Tom DeLonge fan at the best of times. I'm sorry, people. Am I canceled? Is that what finally cancels me?
I don't know. If Mark can get away with saying what he said about Coheed, I think you're fine for.
I'm the one who's going to get the backlash for all the wank.
Dude, the Coheed.
Stop saying wank.
Correct. Well,
okay, no, that is the out of text con.
I would appreciate any Patreon supporters because my channel is just unmonetized from every video from now on. Thanks, everyone.
There was too much wank.
too much wank, too much love, just all over the place.
Oh gosh,
too much love wank.
I'm getting that big vaudeville hook. From Chris Doman, The Who, that Mongolian band, the Mongolian metal band that's been tearing it up on radio lately.
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys familiar with them? If you're not familiar, it's fine.
I'm not. I'm
okay.
No.
We'll be Crash and I'll be really quick. The Who. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Damn.
I do too.
I like what they're doing.
Super
Very
creative.
Inventive.
Super creative. And they're finding the right people to switch in and out with different voices. They made Jacoby Shaddix did a great job. Lizzie Hale did one. The first one with the guy, Danny Case, is that from Ashes to New? I don't really care for From Ashes to New. He did a good job with that song.
Yeah, he did better than I figured he was going to do. Yeah, no, the Who...
Good.
Yeah, I could easily see that. Those guys are building a really interesting niche right now, and I could see that blossoming into a very interesting project down the line. I like what I've heard from them so far.
For sure.
I am very confused.
The HU.
Oh, I was thinking either The Who, the band, or else The Who as in the World Health Organization. So...
See, I'm positive that has to be part of the reason they picked their name, just for the trolls,
Maybe.
For the joke.
Also, we don't care. We're American. We don't care about the World Health Authority.
Right. Well, apparently not. We left, right?
Apparently. Oh my God. God help us.
I'm so pleased. Scroll down. That's not a rock band. Thank you, though. Rowan something said Wu-Tang Clan. I don't know if that really compliments. But yeah, we'll give a thumbs up. Yeah, that's fine. There you go. Got to move on though.
Wu-Tang's for the children.
Yes. Okay, and here we go. Sorry, I keep switching all over. Album versus album from 2 different bands. I don't know if we've done this one before, but this is interesting. 3 Days Grace, 1X versus Breaking Benjamin, Phobia.
Ew.
Oh, shush, Mark.
It has to have been...
I'm going to step out of this. I'm not as familiar with both. So
okay, fair enough. It has to have been 15 years since I've listened to either.
I mean, same, but I could probably do this.
Okay. For 3 Days Grace, 1X. 1, 2, 3.
See, I had a feeling. Yeah.
And for Breaking Benjamin, Phobia. 1, 2, 3.
John, in your defense, just barely for me.
Yeah, me too.
This is a just barely.
And like
I didn't even think you liked Phobia.
I kind of don't, but I'm just not a big fan of 1X, dude. I'm sorry. It does nothing for
Their
me.
best album by a long shot.
I'll just say this.
Eh.
Both albums are singles albums to me, if that makes sense.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
Very good.
I feel Phobia and 1X have like one or two killer radio tracks, and they are awesome. And oh man, I would honestly have to listen to both again, but Phobia at least stuck with me a little longer, and that's all I'm basing this on. That's it.
To be honest, that's kind of my same argument too.
Okay.
I can remember at least a few songs off of Phobia. Diary of Jane is off of Phobia, right? Like that's a decent song, you know. For as much grief as I've given Breaking Benjamin over here, like I can. They've got a few good songs. I don't even remember what's on 1X. I Hate Everything About You. Is that on that one? That's on the first.
No,
album,
that's
right?
that's the other one.
I could see, so I couldn't even tell you what 1X. I couldn't even tell you anything about 1X, man. It's just left my memory over all these years. I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry.
And John, are we still friends? And does 3 Days? Why do you think 3 Days Grace gets the thumbs up?
I mean, 1X is easily their best full-length album, and I would completely disagree with the singles-only statement. I think some of the best songs on that album are actually deep cuts on that record. And I honestly don't think outside of that, 3 Days Grace have another, like, full album that I just, like, every track, like, I'm here for it. 1X is the only album in their discography like that for me, so...
To be fair, I have not heard every album from 3 Days Grace, so I can't make the full argument. Oh, they've never done anything else. I don't know. I have not heard everything from them. So, also, someone put a super chat. I misspoke. One is on And Justice for All, not Ride the Lightning. I think I misspoke when I said that. Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm a Master of Puppets fanboy. So, going to the next one. Okay, very quickly, this is not because this popped up. Sober Kennedy said, "Thanks, Crash, for introducing me to Moron Police." That's the super chat.
Oh, happy to oblige, man.
He introduced us too, so yeah.
No, A Boat on the Sea, people. Check that album out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we go to Gonzo Lude. I know we haven't done this one before. Cheap Trick.
Oh.
I wouldn't say I'm experienced enough to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, to be honest.
Okay.
See, I'm not sure. I could participate, but I would be probably... this is a soft participation on my part.
Okay. Mark, do you have an answer that you want to... Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
Crash, you want to participate? I think I need to sit out. I only know like 5 songs, and I love them, but I know those 5.
Yeah, I'm with Luke.
Okay.
I know enough. I'll participate. I can.
Okay. So Crash and Mark for Cheap Trick. 1, 2, 3.
A bit tentative. Like for me, this is a bit. But you know.
Mark, since you sat out the last one, why don't you go first?
Listen to a fair bit of Cheap Trick in university. Actually, I'm reasonably familiar with the band. I think they are a singles band by far for a lot of their sound is, and I think they are a band where if you get the greatest hits, you get the best out of this band pretty consistently. But at the same time, what they did was really good. Like, it's catchy, it's well delivered. I think when they got a little bit weirder at the end of the 70s and beginning of the 80s, I think they've got some decent stuff there. Again, they're a hard band for me to dislike. Like, for when it comes out of that particular era of radio rock, I'm generally a pretty easy sell for it. And Cheap Trick, they're not going to break the bank. They're not going to do anything that's going to put them above and beyond, but they are a very solid act for me. Very solid.
And Crash, why does Cheap Trick get the thumbs up?
And to be honest, I would agree with Mark entirely here. Like, my participation for this one was kind of a soft participation because I'm a basic hits bitch when it comes to this band. I don't know too much outside of what's on that greatest hits.
Why are you not selling that T-shirt? That is merchandise gold, Crash.
It is. It actually is.
Greatest hits bitch. Oh yeah, that's something. But no, it's like, man, you pick up their greatest hits collection, you'll have a good time with it for sure. Yes. They're cheesy. They're like They are the daddiest of dad bands. They really are.
They're a good dad.
Foreigner is the daddiest of dad bands.
There you go. But
Okay,
Cheap Trick's a fun dad band. There's an embarrassing
Cheap
dad
Trick
band
is
and a fun
fun.
dad band. Yeah, I agree.
Like, even if you don't like them, they're not worth, like, hating. They're out there doing their thing, and they're good at what they do, you know? I can't fault them for it, even if it is super duper cheesy at times. Hey, man, Dream Police is a bop. I'll cop to that. Man.
I love I Want You to Love Me. I know that's super cheese, but I love it. I can't help it. So
Surrender.
yeah,
Surrender's good. Voices is really good too.
that's the four.
That 70s
that's
show
the four
theme
I know.
song.
So
Yeah.
okay, so from Wade 2K1, Cold War Kids.
Oh.
Oh, here we go.
I won't be able to participate.
Crash
I'm not
it's out.
familiar with this band.
I'm familiar. Okay,
Yeah.
Cold War Kids. 1, 2, 3. I'm the only one, huh? Okay. Fair enough. I'm just barely on the thumbs up because I think I come from a weird way where Robbers and Cowards was my jumping on point, and that's my favorite album from them, and that's the best thing they've done. And every album since then has not been great, but they've had moments. I've seen them live twice. They sound fine. I feel like that's why I'm just barely in the thumbs up. I feel like Cold War Kids are harmless, and I wish
They are.
they are harmless. And to
They're aggressively harmless, though.
it's just because Robbers and Cowards, that's the one album that pushes me just barely above that thumbs up that I really enjoy. The deep cuts on that and the singles I love. So that's it. I'm not going to really defend them, though. That's all I can really say. So, Mark, you had the most discomfort look for Cold War Kids, so go for it.
This band is not any good. I'm sorry.
I
I
think
put them in.
they're fine.
I put this in the same category as an act that I'll say it. I'll put The Neighborhood in a similar category, in a similar group of bands that came out of that early 2010 sound that was very washed out. It didn't do anything interesting. It was perfect for soundtracking those winsome middlebrow commercials.
It's commercial rock.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's commercial core.
Yes.
Sell me a
commercial
Jeep.
core,
Yes.
and it's more to the point, it's early commercial core. And it was so indicative of that sound. I found the albums tedious. I found the lyrics completely undercooked. They weren't as insufferable as The Neighborhood eventually wound up becoming, but like Cold War Kids gave me nothing. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And John, for Cold War Kids, why do they get the thumbs down?
Yeah. They're just aggressively boring. They're so
I've heard that too.
middle of the road. Like, they have one song that I love, and it's called First. That is the only song that I like from them that I can think of. And outside of that, like, I've sat through albums before because I used to get a bunch of requests to talk about them years ago, and I
dried
just
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It really did. I don't get comments about that anymore that I see. So
that Roberts and Cows albums was 2008. So
oh wow,
that's how far back it goes. So,
wow.
Fun fact before you guys kill Cold War Kids. Fun fact, Mark. The first time I saw Cold War Kids was at a radio festival with The Neighborhood. So, as soon as you
who
said
would have guessed that both of them were there
I know,
at a
right?
radio festival?
At a radio station festival in Florida. So, how do you guys want to kill Cold War Kids in the Coliseum?
Cold War gets hot.
Actually, if I may bring something up, the chat has coined a lovely term called commercial core.
Yeah.
How about we let that stick to them for the rest of their career?
That's fine. First was on commercials as well. I do distinctly remember that song being
Yes,
in
it
the
was.
background. Yeah. So
But they're getting hella money for that, though.
sure.
That doesn't sound like a bad death.
they do well. They do well for themselves for sure.
They
So,
do.
Okay.
They do.
So in commercial core, we also throw Bastille, Ex-Ambassadors.
Ex-Ambassadors are the
biggest
champions of
fan.
that right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call, chat room. Good additional core genre that we've made.
Hey, it worked. I bought a Jeep.
because of Cold War Kids.
Because I heard that Hey 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 song from Ex-Ambassadors in a commercial, and I was like, I need to get in one of those.
Clearly, I need it. Clearly, I do need a test drive. Okay. From
What?
oh,
John, did it make you feel a little unsteady?
I don't feel unsteady at all in this Jeep. The suspension is great.
I've never felt more like a renegade.
Okay.
Enough bad puns. Let's keep moving.
I apologize for mispronouncing. You're in the chat. You help out with the timestamps. You are awesome. Dragame, and that's all. And I can't pronounce the rest. I'm sorry. The Velvet Underground versus Lou Reed's Solo.
Again, this is two very different conversations here.
I feel
Yeah, I'll have to tap out for the Lou Reed solo part, to be honest.
Tough.
that is tough.
That's so tough. Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, Crash.
I think I got it too.
I guess I do. Okay, for the Velvet Underground. 1, 2, 3. Really? Okay.
Really?
Interesting.
Really?
For
Okay, I figured somebody.
just for the video, for Lou Reed. 1, 2, 3.
See, now I don't feel so bad.
Yeah. I'll be very brief on my thoughts. For Lou Reed, everyone likes to laugh at Lulu. His legacy is not Lulu. All the creativity and stuff he did decades before was very heavy and very strong with so much. You know what? I prefer Lou Reed. With the Velvet Underground, I just never really saw the dynamic, huge appeal that they earned through... I don't know. The music just never stuck with me. I guess that's a good way to say it. So, Crash, why does Lou Reed get the thumbs up?
Okay, see, here's the thing. Lou Reed does get a bad rap for Lulu, for Metal Machine music. Okay, haha, whatever. See, here's to those people, I say, go listen to Transformer. Go listen to Coney Island Baby. Go listen to the good stuff that Lou has put out, and you will understand why this man is a legend and why he's done such amazing stuff. And again, this isn't to discredit the Velvet Underground either. Like the Velvet Underground and Nico, that album, that classic. Is a fucking classic. That cannot be denied.
Nico's the only one I do remember.
But those of you that aren't super fans, name me another Velvet Underground.
Right, and that's the only one I can remember off the top of my head. So.
See, they didn't have quite the... Granted, that's also not fair because they didn't last as long as Lou Reed's solo career did. So that's, again, not entirely fair.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, Lou has made a much more strong impact than the Velvet Underground could in their short time. Just, Go listen to Transformer. God damn it, people.
Go ahead.
Listen to Transformer.
I'm going to echo a lot of what Crash says, but I'm also going to take a very different take on this. I love the Velvet Underground for what they do, but you can argue that there were other acts coming out of the proto-punk scene that would have eventually laid the same groundwork that a lot of what the Velvet Underground did. Metal Machine music, I actually like and will defend, and that actually puts it in a category of laying groundwork within noise music and certain types of electronic music that, frankly, is unprecedented. So, on that benefit basis alone, plus when you throw in the fact that Lou Reed has classic albums on his own, I'm going to stick up for Lou Reed.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, How does the Velvet Underground die in the Coliseum? They're not even there.
They kind of ran themselves.
I'm sorry, that was too dark. That was too dark. Mine was
going to be darker. I was going to say, how did Nico die again?
Oh, see.
Yeah.
Oh,
all the crowd in the Coliseum goes, at us.
That was really tasteless. That was tasteless. I'm sorry.
We need a sad trombone effect. Do you have a sad trombone effect on yours?
Luke hit it.
You guys can't hear it, but everyone else heard it.
I was about to say, I heard it. Yeah, I'll pretend I heard it.
Trombone, yay.
You guys on the background, it'll be timeless and perfect, like right for the live show. So I think we got time for 2 more. I think that's fair to say. Again, we'll burn through a few of these also, just to be fair for the super chats, because we did start a
lightning round.
We'll do a lightning round for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you guys again. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. It helps us out a ton. Do 2 more, and okay, there's no way we have done this. I guess it does technically count. Lachlan Willisey says John Mayer.
Oh, do we have to?
It does count.
Yeah, we do.
And of all the stuff we covered, it does count. So, does everyone have an opinion?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
John Mayer on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, John. Okay.
Okay.
John, go ahead and give the why does John Mayer get the thumbs up?
Continuum is an amazing album. I think his early stuff was very, very, very aggressively boring, adult contemporary, who cares, it's in the supermarket, whatever. But John Mayer is a great guitarist. I don't think too many people would disagree with me there.
That's
Look
my
at his
whole
work
strong
with
point,
Dead
yeah.
and Company. He's great live. I love several of his records, from Battle Studies to Continuum. I would say that he's kind of done a lot of stuff in the 2010s that I didn't really care about all that much, but still overall there's enough there that I'm going to come back to and that I still do come back to. But
Okay.
I know, I get it, I'm prepared for what's coming.
Okay, I'll be very brief with mine. Exceptional guitarist. I saw him live many years ago it was like a multi-genre festival. Everything you've heard about his guitar playing is not only accurate, it's very impressive. He has earned all the accolades. If he had the 5th grade level of lyric writing, just 5th grade, maybe I would love him even more. His lyric writing is so ridiculously off-putting that I just can't get into it. That being said, I don't hate the guy. I don't think you can hate John Mayer. I just don't think you can.
Mark's looking like he can.
Not like Coheed and Cambria hate, at least. So,
Can I go?
Go ahead.
Can I
go
go
ahead.
next?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Go.
Crash.
My comments can be summed up perfectly by our good friend Aiden King in the chat here.
Okay.
He describes John Mayer as Dave Matthews for Karens.
I would disagree with that too. Come on.
I
now.
completely disagree.
I gave him a thumbs down, and even I'd disagree with that.
See, I don't know. A lot of the chat went on it's Karen core. It's Karen core, and it's like I can't. I
I
don't
can't
know, man.
argue
I
that,
can't-
but it's like the Dave Matthews for Karens. That's a weird.
See, there are a lot of moms driving minivans who spun the fuck out of Your Body is a Wonderland back in the day. Like,
And-
that is...
But I feel like so much of the hate for him comes from just those first 2 albums, and I get that.
But he's earned it, though.
But those were so long. He's put out way more albums since then.
He has, for
On
sure.
top of that, I will argue that John Mayer is also just a charisma vacuum. The dude has either A, no personality, or B, the few times he has shown us his personality, it's not a very good personality, and it's like I don't know. I just don't like the guy. He just seems like kind of a twerp. He can play with the best of them, but again, his lyrics suck, and he's just a very boring person, and like I don't know, I'm not feeling
Mark.
it. I'm sorry. Man.
Mark, you've been very patient saving your rage. How do you feel about John?
I don't even have rage. I just
Okay,
have
good.
thinly veiled contempt. Because I'm sorry, everything about John Mayer annoys the piss out of me. He was one of the first reviews I did back in 2013. I reviewed Paradise Valley. The best song there was when he was just on guitar and then Frank Ocean sang, which I think was indicative of all my issues with John Mayer. Again, phenomenal guitarist. But I actually kind of agree with the whole Dave Matthews Band for the Karen audience. A lot of this stuff is softer. He plays to more of the jam band vibe. And like the Dave Matthews Band, the traditional song structure does not do him any favors. He's better when he can just get on the guitar and play. The problem is every single studio album, he's either cribbing from production styles that he can't pull off effectively, like specifically in the last album where he was trying to be the war on drugs and failing.
Ew.
I don't even remember that.
No.
It was
And
like,
then-
what was the last album? I don't even remember.
I don't remember
It was a
that.
collection of EPs. From what I remember, it did
Oh, the Wave thing?
it wasn't good.
Oh, that was not good. No.
No, my problem is he's such a charisma. You're right with Crash. He's a charisma vacuum, but he's always been trying to project an air of cool that he can't pull off. But the thing is, he got his cool from being a guitarist, not a personality. So when he tried to do a comedy-style interview with Playboy, and it was awful. I don't know if any of you guys have read that interview, but he says a lot of bad things, like racist things, and it's not pleasant.
Yeah, exactly. Again, I get a weird vibe off of that guy. He just seems weird. I don't like him.
He pissed off every single comedian when he tried to do that comedy style thing, because he tried to back it up with an actual comedy tour.
I remember that
And-
because like he was like
Yeah.
he was doing like touring with stand-up comedians, and I remember him doing stuff with Dave Chappelle and stuff too. So
And a lot back behind the scenes, a lot of the comedians hated him because here's this guy who looks like a supermodel, dates supermodels, and he's this crazy virtuoso guitarist who plays with Kanye West, and now he wants to come do comedy too. Like he's not an underdog. Like what's he supposed to joke about?
his own music.
If only he was that self-aware.
If only, man. If only.
That's why I don't even care. I don't even look into the artists.
Fair enough.
I don't give a shit. I just am here for the music.
He really is the perfect background noise music. I think that's how I feel. Like he's dentist waiting room music. You know, that's how I see
Put
it.
Hootie on, and Hootie is at least
Come on,
earthy.
yeah.
Hootie's
No, no, no.
Hootie, no.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. At least Hootie's easier to ignore. I can't get over his breathy that fake breathy sexy thing he does now.
It's trying to be like that, but also with a little bit of grunge grit to it. And
Yeah,
he doesn't have the body in his voice to pull it off.
He doesn't. He really doesn't.
So how does he die in the Coliseum? I don't even know. He has to
Another comedy tour.
I was gonna say he has to date Jennifer Aniston again.
Dear John Part 2
Here's what
from
it is.
Taylor Swift.
Here's what it is. He has to be the opening act for Kanye West's presidential run.
Ugh. Oh, like he plays the inauguration ceremony?
No, not even that. No, he has to
Like
go to
3
all-
doors down.
He has to go to all the rallies, and he is the opening act to try to get people excited.
Except no one's in the crowd because of a pandemic, so he's just by himself.
And he has to wear a mask so we can't sing. We can only hear him play. Oh my gosh, I
Like
love
the
this
ocean
idea.
You got a decent idea. Shit.
Yeah. Oh, why can't we do this now? Okay. That was me.
If that Kanye thing is just gonna happen, we may as well let it happen in the most glorious train wreck it can possibly be.
Well, don't say that to Nash, because basically, like they stopped off in.
They stepped like in his
Charleston.
hometown. So yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yikes.
So they're gonna get a big old spike in like 5 days or so from now. So we're gonna do one more, then we'll do like maybe like 2 or 3. Let's do a lightning round now. Lightning round right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
let's get as many as we can. I
okay.
know a lot of them came
Then we
through.
go
So.
through. I know. Thank you guys. If you want a chance to do the lightning round, get them in now. Thank you guys again so much. Hit the like button if you haven't. This is our chance to go through. Thank you for sticking with us for 2 hours. Still 391 of you still in there. That's crazy.
Thank you.
To listen to us
Much.
joke around and do this nonsense, that means a lot to us, actually. So, okay. And here we go. From Jack Fleming, The Prodigy.
Okay.
Yeah, just do it. Let's just do
Okay.
a quick thumbs up, thumbs down on it.
Yeah, exactly. The Prodigy.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Limited, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Any
R.I.P.
thoughts from
Keith
anyone?
Moon.
Any thoughts from anyone?
Yes.
Rest in peace, Keith.
There you go.
Yeah,
Rest in
absolutely.
peace, Keith.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too soon, man.
From JT Loves Code Lyoko, Elton John versus Freddie Mercury. That's a hard versus.
Oof.
Oh.
You got thoughts?
Oh, I'm gonna. I got it. Yeah, I got one.
Yeah.
And
I got it.
Yeah.
It hurts, but I got it.
Okay.
so close.
For Elton John, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And for Freddie Mercury, 1, 2, 3.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Mine's
It's
100%
just-
biased for Queen. That's it.
Yeah, same.
Bias.
Same. I just
So-
bias. Huge bias. Huge.
At least no one has to die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, again.
Again, yes. So as we go through, we did that one from Goku-san. We did that. We did My Bloody Valentine. I'm just scrolling down just from a few. From Zanman, Refused versus At the Drive-In. I feel like we did this exact one.
I think we did do that.
We have, we
Yeah.
have done this actually.
I'm at the drive-in, but that's just me.
Same.
Okay.
Refused.
Same.
Okay. Gotcha.
Refused. Sorry.
Okay. Fine. No, it's fine. Okay. From Brandon Barenfeld, the Alan Parsons Project. I am not familiar.
I
I'm
am not.
abstain. I don't know
Okay,
enough.
sorry, we don't know that one. Thank you for the super chat. We just don't know that one.
Yeah.
From Goku-san DBZ, Let Me In from Code Orange, the theme for the Fiends. So Code Orange in general. Let's just leave it at that. Code Orange.
Code Orange. Okay.
1, 2, 3. I'm a big
They're
fan.
tearing it up right now, man.
Big
Tear it
fan.
up.
Yeah, by far.
Didn't love that last album, but they're good
See,
now.
I think
It
I
wasn't
was
as good.
I
Let's put
agree
it
it
that
was not as good as Forever, but Forever was my #1 album that year. So
Yeah,
it's
totally.
a little
Yeah.
hard for me to live
And
up to
that's gonna be a hard album to top,
Yeah.
but they still did a good job.
From Wiz Blue. Wow, that's a YouTube name. Wiz Blue, BLEW. Smashing.
Consult your doctor. That's a problem.
It says.
Either that or you're standing outside.
Oh. Smashing Pumpkins, overrated or underrated? So we'll leave it at Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Yes, but my God, don't listen to anything
After
98.
2000, I would
Yeah,
say a little. I would say
2000.
2005.
After
2005 was even mine. I'll push it back later, but 2005, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you don't want to hear like Zeitgeist on.
And he has James Eha back, and he still can't do anything now. What's going on? What the heck?
That's sad.
That is
That last
sad.
record was really sad. Yeah.
From
No, thanks.
from Devin Sterling, The Proclaimers.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
I'm backing out of this one. I don't have enough familiarity with this. So do you three have?
I do.
Do you have?
Oh,
Three?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Proclaimers. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Scottish boys.
Yep.
And
Lovely
I
Scottish boys.
would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500.
So
Also, the band's crazy underrated because they actually have a couple. They go really political on their early stuff.
I've
It's
heard
really
that
legit
before.
good.
So
It
okay.
actually is. Yeah, like check out stuff outside of 500 miles, guys. They have some legit good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. From Dayton Hamilton, Interpol.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
It's an but for me it's a little tentative. It's a little on the side.
Okay.
same.
We'll go really quick, but like just for one person, John, you had double thumbs up on that one. Interpol.
Oh, I love like anything and like post-punk revival. I'll admit my bias for that genre, but I love Paul Banks's like dark, brooding vibe, and from their debut to really the recent stuff like Mordor and everything, I'm here for it.
Okay. From Jared Stone, early Tool, Opiate-Aenema versus late Tool, Lateralus, 10,000 Days, and Fear Inoculum. So early Tool versus late Tool.
Interesting cutoff point.
Yeah, what was the cutoff again?
Aenema. And then
Okay.
Lateralus between those two. So Lateralus
Okay.
and Onward is late Tool, and then Opiate, that is early.
Mark, I know where your head's at here. I get you. Yeah. I got an answer.
I have an answer.
I do.
Mine's a little bit easier, but it's whatever. Okay, for early Tool, 1, 2, 3.
This breaks my heart,
Okay.
but like, yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
And late Tool, 1, 2, 3. That means we don't have to destroy any Tool albums.
Yay!
Yay!
Like no hard feelings either way,
I
though.
don't care. Yeah,
because-
you won't hear me talk down. Lateralus is one of my all-time favorites. So,
Yes.
yeah. And we'll go to Noxusur, Death Cab for Cutie.
Mm.
I could do this.
Yeah.
Okay, just really quick. It's lightning round. Okay.
So.
Up or
1,
down?
2, 3. Yeah.
Mine is an but mine is a tentative
Okay.
Like it's yeah.
Way too nostalgic for me because literally my graduation song was "I Will Follow You Into the Dark."
Oh,
wow.
That's not bad.
It's kind of
Because-
Oh, depressing, but yeah.
Well, I was a Catholic school for one.
Oh, the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But also,
Am I the
but
only one that
also-
went to public school that had that crazy wild public school where the
Yes.
teacher? Oh, okay then.
But
Mark,
also
did you get your knuckles bruised?
no, not by a lady in black. But the funny thing with that is that the student council president was a huge indie nerd of like the adult
Yeah.
alternative indie nerds. So I heard all the Death Cab albums. He was a big Snow Patrol fan as well. So we had a lot of that. That was our vibe from like 2006 to 2008 in terms of like our school atmosphere. And that's why I liked high school.
Okay,
Hey,
fair enough.
dude.
Okay, we'll do 3 more because I know it's getting late for you guys. Thank you again for sticking with us, everyone. From Jacob Nicola, The Cure versus the Cranberries. That is not a fair comparison. That's
Wow.
a randomly
No,
good
not
comparison.
fair at all.
Or
Not
here
at all.
it is.
Can I just thumbs up
Thumbs
both?
up both for me. Come on, yeah.
But the Cure gets
not
more.
even.
Yeah, I would
I'm
still
with
say
you,
the
Mark.
Cure's higher, but I'm not. Yeah, that's not even the same timeline either. That's okay.
No
Very
disrespect to
hard.
the Cranberries.
No.
I mean, come on.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Dolores.
Yes, so many we've lost. It's crazy.
No, right.
Okay, so no two left. From Red Vince, Fallout Boy, Infinity on High versus Folie à Deux.
Oh, nice.
I can do this one.
I can do
Yeah.
this for you. Okay,
I know where Crash is going.
just in the order.
Yep.
Infinity on High. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Folie à Deux bores me. I'm sorry.
I was fine with
Mm.
Infinity on High. That's fine with me.
I love Infinity on High.
And Folie à
but
Deux. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Crash,
You guys are welcome to.
Crash,
It's-
give Foley another chance. It's better than you think it is.
It's their best
I will-
album. It's their great
Someday.
album.
I'll give it someday. I'll give it another try, but I can promise nothing.
It's
That's all I'll
for
say.
me. I think the lyrics actually really save that album.
Okay, that's.
I
fine.
like the more soulful approach vocally too, honestly.
I do too. Yeah.
Okay. Two more. Patrick, Sun Kil Moon. I am unfamiliar.
I can't. Yeah.
I'm not familiar
Okay.
enough.
Mark?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
So Mark's the only one. Sun Kil Moon. 1, 2, 3.
The song from their 2017 album, I Love Portugal, is fantastic.
Okay.
I don't love Benji. This is their big 2014 critically acclaimed album. Mark Kozluk is a dick, and I want to punch him in the face. But at the same time, my God, is he a good writer?
Okay. And finally, from the last one of the night, thank you guys so much for all the super chats and all the participation. From Chris Doman, Got Ye's Making Mirrors.
Oh, Gautier.
Gautier.
Gautier, I know. Got Ye. I like Got Ye.
Got ye.
Gautier.
Got ye. Got ye.
Making Mirrors. Got Ye? Making Mirrors. Anyone have any thoughts? Because I'm backing out on this
Oh,
one.
hell yeah.
I got.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got thoughts.
For you three. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, Luke, go dig that album up.
Yes,
Do
it's
yourself a
so good.
My familiarity, I
Not
only
his best album though. Not his best.
Not his best. No, I'll even say that. Not his best, but it is a very nice jumping on point. That's
Okay.
a good like
That's
entry
true,
level.
that's true.
Okay, so Luke, go dig that.
That'll be
album
my
up.
homework for
I'll
this
tell you.
weekend. Here's
It's also his final album.
yeah.
Well, as of now.
Just to be
that
fair,
don't break my heart like that.
My experience with Gautier is, somebody that I used to know, and the cover that dropped a week ago from 3 Days Grace covering somebody that I used to know.
I don't want to hear it. I can't even bring myself to click on it.
I listened to it. I talked about it on the podcast with Gretchen, and just to point this out, Gretchen messaged me while she was while just in the middle of the day, going, "Did you hear this yet?" And that's all I needed to know when I clicked on it. It's worth hearing. It is worth hearing.
When you can hear a tone through text, it's not good.
I don't know how else to describe it as Matt tried to get really aggressive and angsty with Gautier's Somebody That I Used to Know, and that is aggressively angsty, and that is definitely
one
the right
asked for that.
description. Yeah,
No one asked for that.
Who did he get to do the Kimbra part?
no one.
Yeah.
Matt.
Okay, so he just doesn't. It's a call and response song. What if he? Oh my god! Oh, this is next level bullshit.
Has
Isn't
a
it? Oh
has
my
a
god!
full music
Did you
animated
do your
music video
bad
with
covers album too early? Did you do your bad covers video too
I don't
early
know
here?
if it's the worst I've heard. It's not the worst 10, but yes, it is bad. Because the thing is, the music behind it, serviceable. It's fine for what you think it is. It's just Matt makes it real awkward.
Again, you need someone else to sing the Kimbra part, or else it just doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Who could 3 Days Grace have gotten that would have salvaged anything here?
Lizzie Hale.
Yeah, maybe.
See, that's beneath her, dude. That's like
yeah, but why would she want to put herself on there? Yeah.
But here's my point.
Modern
The reason
3
why-
Days Grace.
The reason why the Kimbra part works is because it's a smackdown.
It is. It's a
Yeah.
response. It's an instant response, too. That's
Yeah,
what I
it's-
like.
see,
Which is what made the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody could deliver that "Hey, no, fuck you" part of that song, yeah, it would be Lizzie. Lizzie could do that.
She's done so many great covers. Doing that one, I feel just be like, with 3 Days Grace.
With modern
No, I
3
get-
Days Grace.
Yes, with Matt. Yeah, with Matt.
But I'm trying to think of a female singer who would actually be able to step in with enough bite in her voice to match him effectively.
I say
Caro
this.
Caro Bonita.
I say this as a fan of the.
See, that would be good just for the troll.
No.
3 Days Grace featuring Caro Benito.
No.
Somebody that
Poppy.
What's
Poppy.
Poppy.
Poppy
There you
would
go.
at least have fun with it. Also, Poppy's like adding more songs, and she's calling out the chain smokers. Poppy does not care anymore. She's doing great right now.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Get on the warpath, Queen. We love you for it.
She's also dating Ghostmane, and Ghostmane's decent to see live, so.
I've heard that too. I've heard someone else say that.
I saw Ghostmane live last year, and like at Reading, and it was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Like, I'm not a fan of the music, but the pit was great.
Okay. I just have to say, for all the Rock Holidays we had really good suggestions this time. For both the Super Chats and for just the free round. We had good ones. Yeah. We got good impressions from Crash. We got a good analogy from Mark. We got...
Good analogy. Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Is that a good way to put it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
A very
enough.
visual one.
I paint with words and nothing else.
You painted with something, all right.
Crash
I
Thompson.
said nothing else!
Thank you so much all for tuning in for something as ridiculous as this. I'm sure the chat room is now catching up to this since there's a 10-second delay or so. I apologize. Hi to all the Catholic and church school educators that taught these three boys.
Yeah.
They wave hi to you too. Hi, educators of the past. So
I am positive all of my professors are proud.
Isn't it kind of funny how we all ended up like not going to church?
Oh God! I think go to Christian school. That is the quickest way to become an atheist.
Go
I
to
promise you.
chapel 3 times a week.
Yeah, same. Oh my. Don't even get us started. Like, don't even get us. Me and John especially do not get us started. That lust and shit.
well,
That
as we
is
wrap up, I do
something
remember the story. Like you had like a Reliant K CD, and someone sent you a switchboard to Reliant K, and someone gave you those. Like, have you heard this edgy hard stuff? I'm passing it around behind the teachers' backs.
else. No, it was MXPX. Specifically.
MXPX, yes.
Yeah, no, MXPX. They were telling me like I came into Christians. I started Christian school like 6th grade, so I didn't immediately. I wasn't like born and raised in it. But in the meantime, I was also a big music nerd, so I got the chance to listen to a lot of this stuff, this punk rock and all this Green Day and this NoFX and all this other cool stuff I got to stumble across while I was very young. Then I go to Christian school and people are telling me, oh, MXPX and Switchfoot, this is like the hard rock stuff. You want to know what hard rock is like? And I'm like, stairs in AFI.
You want to go behind the back of the school and smoke candy cigarettes and listen to MXPX while we should be in class? Thank you guys all.
You want to go skip study hall?
No thanks. I'll just smoke weed and keep listening to the Zebrahead, man. You guys have fun.
Smoke weed. Smoke weeds like grass clippings from the lawnmower. What are you talking about, Crash? I don't get it.
Yeah. It's lawn work. That's what we'll call it.
Your landscaper will praise your hedges. Thank you, Crash Thompson.
Praise your-
Praise your hedges.
Praise your hedges that they grow nice and beautiful, so you have plenty of lawn clippings. Hooray! Huzzah! Thank you all for tuning in for this ridiculous shenanigan that we do every few months. We really do enjoy it. This is something fun for us, too. We appreciate all the super chats. We will be making the document. I'll be making that probably tonight and tomorrow morning. As soon as these guys finish it, we all get a chance with it. For all the super chats, we'll post it online on this video page. Now, I would like to turn over the time to these three gentlemen to help them plug everything they're going on right now. Again, in case you missed it earlier, Mark, what do you have coming up soon?
On Friday, I will likely have the newest episode of On the Pulse, unless by some miracle I can get it out tomorrow. Don't count on that. Then going from further, as of recently, I put a Billboard breakdown yesterday, and I got the Taylor Swift solo album review was on Monday. Be sure to go check those out. Beyond any of that, I'm currently working on my best albums of the 2010s. Long-standing project, hoping to have that done by the end of the summer. And otherwise, if you want to actually help contribute to my schedule, please go to my Patreon and hop on board. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. John, what do you have coming up soon?
I just put out, for anyone who may have missed at the beginning of the stream or whenever I talked about it, I just put out the album awards for quarter 2. So like 20 albums covered, kind of retroactively looking back at the past quarter. Some I had talked about before, some I hadn't. As soon as this ends, I'm literally about to publish my Logic review. I got a video essay that I'm working on, and just kind of taking a little bit of time off after putting out a couple of big videos.
Awesome. Very cool to hear. Crash, what do you have coming up? And I know you just posted something too.
Yes, I just, like I said, up on my channel right now, the latest edition of Fimi is up. That's stuff, pretty much up a bunch of rapid fire reviews up to around Q2 of the year. So lots of ground covered in that video. That's currently up there right now. And actually, while we were talking, I actually posted for my patrons, I posted the new producers poll. It is now officially up. If you're on my Patreon, you can go and vote in that. We're voting in the next episode of I Love This Song. So we're going to figure out and decide what the next episode of that is going to be. Actually, I can read the choices off here for you. It's going to be between, I have one of 6 choices here. You can vote between either Faith No More's Epic, Boys of Summer. I'm leaving the artist vague on that. Which Boys of Summer? We will find out. Hide and Seek by Imogen Heap. That's going to be a choice. U2's Sweetest Thing, Jurassic 5's Quality Control, or the Bloodhound Gang, The Bad Touch. I'm almost kind of hoping that wins because God, is there an episode in that one?
Oh, there is.
Yep. I just voted for it, Crash.
Oh, nice. But yeah, that's over on my Patreon. That's the producers poll is an access to $1 and above pledgers. So if you can give $1 to the Patreon, that'll give you a basic access. That gets you access to producers polls, but that also gets your name in the credits, and it also keeps you up to date with everything that's going on with the Patreon in general. So if you guys want to, that's your chance to vote on what the next big long form video is going to be for me here. These are always exciting. They always boil down to red knuckle choices. It is never a blowout. It is always a fraction of points between who wins. So I'm interested to see how this goes. But if you want to hop over to my Patreon, that's patreon.com/CrashThompsonXO, all one word, and check it out and vote for what I'm sure is going to be an interesting video. To say this will be a good one. I can already tell.
Before I plug my thing, Crash, you were talking about freaking kids out by listening to other stuff like Bad Religion. What would those kids have done at the same time frame if they knew you were listening to the Bloodhound Gang? Because that was the same area. Oh my gosh!
They wouldn't. Trust me, as a Christian school kid, I can confirm that I did not understand the Bloodhound Gang at first, or why they were even remotely controversial. I didn't understand Foxtrot, Uniform, Charlie Kilo, and what that spelled out. I didn't get it.
90% of the lyrics just right over your head. You just didn't even understand it at all. Okay.
It was another one of those things where they were like, "Oh, they're dressed as monkeys, ha ha," and I'm like, automatic drip.
As for me, this video should be completely processed over throughout the night. I will get this super chat list as soon as I can to everyone. Please keep a lookout for that. Upcoming, I'm going to be working on a new video series where I rank discographies and tier lists. Actually taking a band, looking through the discography of major releases, and having a certain guest on me with each episode. I already have a few lined up. Probably going to ask these gentlemen to be a part of different episodes in the future as well for different bands. I already have a few in the works. Going to have at least one of those hopefully within the next week after I do the recording and edit with that person. Stay tuned for that. I hope that's something you guys enjoy. Other than that, I'll be having some more videos coming up in August, obviously, as we all will. We'll probably not do one of these in August for sure. September, October, though, we'll probably do another just because we love doing them. We just don't want to do them every month because then it just kills whatever momentum we have, and then it just...
True.
And plus, I have to go through a strike process now for getting my channel demonetized from all the nonsense that was said this tonight, so it's gonna take me a while.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
The pain is real, man. The struggle is very real.
Oh, everything's fine. It was a good episode. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Hopefully you all had a good time. Please check out and subscribe to all these channels below in the video description. They're there right now on this video. And finally, I don't know how to end this episode.
Bloodhound Gang?
Okay, let's do a barbershop quartet reimagining.
I'm not sure. The sync would be terrible. We need somebody coming in with the treble here. Come on.
I'm not classically trained enough for the bloodhound gang.
Babies, white babies, Texas, Texas, drop you and me do the kind of stuff that only Prince would sing about. So put your hands down my pants, and I bet you'll feel nuts. Yes, I'm simple, yes, I'm eager, and you're getting to the had enough of two-hand touch, or out of duck you at.
What you covered in a waffle house.
Damn it, I had it. I almost had it there.
We were close.
Beautiful.
Y'all didn't give me time to rehearse this shit.
Rehearse it? You think I had time to rehearse that? Man,
Yeah, we just all rehearsed beforehand, Crash.
we should have hoped to rehearsal every day this week.